lawsuit was excessive. The court, which was split on the merits of the suit and the lower court's fraud finding, also leaving a pathway for further appeals to New York's highest court.
Fox's Lillian Wu. In last year's ruling, a judge found the value of properties and other assets had been overstated to bolster the Trump family business. President Trump just posting that it was a fake case and election interference. New York Attorney General Letitia James says an appeal of today's ruling is planned, also emphasizing that while the penalty was tossed, the trial court's finding of liability was upheld. A former Biden White House aide goes behind closed doors with a House panel.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says Ian Sams told the panel during a deposition he only interacted with former President Biden twice during his time at the White House.
I interacted more with Joe Biden than Joe Biden's spokesperson. I flew on Air Force One.
Sams is on the front lines in defending the White House during House Republicans' impeachment inquiry into the former president. The committee is now investigating allegations of a decline and cover-up of President Biden's mental acuity. Former President Biden has called the investigation political.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. Fox just confirming that President Trump plans to go on patrol tonight in D.C., where law enforcement and the military are continuing a 30-day crime crackdown he ordered. D.C. leaders have insisted federal intervention was not needed. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our summer weather certainly taking a little bit of a vacation, and we will take it. And this cool flow from the northwest gets stronger for the second half of the weekend. Mostly sunny this afternoon, 85 degrees, clear skies tonight. What a great evening. 67 for the low. Friday and Saturday sunny, 89 each day. Sunday sunny, and a high of 83, 50 Sunday night. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Byrne.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan, and stay cool this summer. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Group in New York's Appellate Division changed the original decision that stood to cost Trump over $500 million. One appeals judge calling the lower court's penalty an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. You might remember that New York Attorney General Letitia James' office says despite this decision, they will not be dropping the case. Let's get some thoughts from Andy McCarthy. He's a former U.S. attorney. He is a Fox News contributor. He is on the phone with us. And last summer, you were helping us every single day as President Trump sat in that courtroom. Letitia James, the AG, she happened to be there as well. And at the time, I remember, Andy, you said that you thought this could be the outcome once the appellate court got a hold of it. What are your thoughts this morning?
Well, I think, Dana, that Trump may be ultimately completely exonerated on this. For now, the penalty goes. There was division in the appeals court about the merits of the underlying suit, but as you point out, what they found basically under an Eighth Amendment theory, that's the amendment that prohibits cruel and unusual punishments. There was such a mismatch between whatever wrong was actually established in the trial and the outrageous penalty that was imposed for it, which was, I think, $355 million, which with interest and other costs is already up to about $530 million.
Oh, gosh, this man wakes up and he just wins and he wins and he wins again. It's just a Thursday. You know, just another one of those days that ends in Y where Donald Trump is winning. Now, this isn't the huge, big win, final win that he needs in all of the lawfare that was levied against him when they were trying to do everything they could to keep him out of the presidency once again. That failed, too. But we do have the news today, and it is big news that the New York Appeals Court has thrown out that $500 million penalty against Trump in the Letitia James civil case. Now, Letitia James has come out and said, we're appealing it. I always say the appeals court system is like the foul ball in baseball. You think it all comes down to this. You're about to get your result, and someone hits a foul ball, and you're like, oh, we got to do this again and again and again. Yeah, probably. But this gets us back on track to normal. And I think it is also very important for people to understand what this is and what it isn't. And we will certainly speak to Hans von Spakovsky about this in about 10 minutes from now and get his thoughts on it. But the ruling leaves liability intact, but eliminates the massive financial penalty. So that $500 million penalty is toast, but the liability, the judgment, that is still in place. And it's a separate issue to get the liability overturned. And as Andy McCarthy has said, and as I've heard other people say, we're going to listen to Shannon Bream here in just a second, get her initial reaction to this. It's a separate stepping stone, but a huge one. And I don't know what it's like to wake up in the morning and be like, I'm $500 million richer today.
I don't know either, but I would imagine that no matter who you are, you would be having a decent day.
It's like, for us, maybe like finding a 20 in the dryer instead of a 1.
Reach into your coat pocket after a summer and go, hey, I left a 5 in there and a pack of gummy bears.
I can't buy anything these days.
That's true.
500 million can buy some things. Let's listen to Shannon Bream discuss the topic.
What's so interesting to me is we've been waiting on this for months. Remember, this came out, it went on appeal, and we kept thinking, I would check every once in a while, like, did I miss something? We are still waiting on this decision. Mm-hmm. So today, essentially, there were all of these fractured decisions and opinions, but what the court agreed on, bottom line, is that massive judgment is out of here for now. But they also kind of smoothed the way for this to go to the next appeal. In New York State, it's interesting that the Supreme Court here is not what you think of as the state's highest court. It's the mid-level. So there's still another level for this case to go. But essentially, though there was disagreement about the overall liability for President Trump, they agreed that this penalty was excessive, cannot stand, and so a big win for him today.
And you know, how much like just absolute gleeful celebration took place, you know, on the numbers of the penalties, because they were trying to put him in jail, they were trying to bankrupt him, and then they tried to kill him. And I always say, like, in that they tried to kill him, can we completely attach those two things? The people who were actually, we've got two instances of it that made it to our level of attention. How many times has Donald Trump's life been under a certain level of threat? Good grief, Iran had a hit out on him.
That's what I was going to say. Who knows how many times they tried to do something that was thwarted.
It was, that the plot was foiled, or they found out about it, or they made an arrest and they didn't want to make it a public whatever. They've got his picture up on the television here right now, and I can't believe this man. I cannot believe this story. The political history, the American history story that we are smack dab in the middle of right now is not a believable story. It's got everything that you would want a great story to have, but everything dialed up to an 11. You watch a really good movie and it's a drama movie. It's got a little comedy in it. It's got a little action in it. maybe a little love story in it. This has a lot of all of it in it. The villains are evil. The good guys are constantly under siege. And for whatever particular reason, things end up working out. Things don't end up working out like this. The batting average of this president, when he sticks it through, when he sees it through to its apparent natural course and end, he wins all the time. Like he said when one of the reporters said to him, like, what makes you think you can get a deal done with Putin? And he goes, that's what I do. He like leans forward at the press podium, kind of leans into it, lowers his voice, brings you in, and he just says, that's what I do. It's unbelievable. I mean, the best word for it is unbelievable. And I am overjoyed to be able to be in this moment, to be able to cover it, and to just watch and wait and wake up in the morning and go, well, what are we going to do today?
Yeah, and you're talking about big picture here, because it is every day you wake up and you go, well, what's new? Because he's taken on everything possible.
At once.
For a long time, maybe even pre-Trump, you were looking around in America going, what's going to stop this slide? Are we just going to keep kind of tumbling into socialism and you know, becoming just like everybody else? Or are we going to be exceptional? And you didn't know who was going to come along that could do anything at all. Neo is still in the Matrix. And at this point,
watch that movie again.
Yes, you do. And you thought even
you don't want to watch The Matrix when you're in the middle of the bad part of the Matrix.
But even when you saw that, this guy is Neo. Okay, there's no way he could actually defeat the whole Matrix, though. And then I think now we're almost at the point where he stepped outside of it. He can fly. He can stop bullets. You're going, well, what can't he do? He's got to be able to defeat the Matrix. We're just sort of waiting to see what this looks like as it unravels now.
It's incredible. It's absolutely an incredible story. There's still room for this story to turn into something bad, into a tragedy. There's still plenty of time. My stupidest thing that I ever said was in like 2019, and I'm like, what could possibly happen to this economy that would keep Donald Trump from winning a re-election? What could happen? Global pandemic. Global pandemic. It's an interesting thing that we went through in 2020 because global pandemics we had heard about, like in the, I don't know, I was going to say the Stone Age, but I don't know what age. The old age.
Pre-us.
Past, yeah, beyond history. It's very similar to what it was like on September 12th of 2001, where you woke up that morning and you're like, that's right. Everything is different. And it'll probably never be the way it was on September 10th. Everything that you see, everything that you consume, everything is different. And I really feel like for a third time in my life, when Donald Trump came back and beat Kamala Harris after beating Joe Biden, after beating Hillary Clinton, I really feel like the historical magnitude of Donald Trump winning after losing after winning, the historical magnitude of his second term is a full at least 90-degree turn in history. We were headed straight down this path, and somehow or another, fate takes the wheel and rips it in a new direction. And you go, oh, well, what's over here? And then you just go, and you see what is over here. And every day that we're opening up the news in the morning to see what's happening, you're tuning in here to 97.1 to hear what Mark Cox is, what's going on today. We just found out here in the last I would say 20 minutes, that Donald Trump is going to go out on patrol tonight in D.C. He's going to do what? Donald Trump is going where? A man that people want dead globally across the world, who has highlighted the crime rate in D.C. He's focused on it. He's emphasized it. He's tried to fix it. He didn't just point at a problem and say, this is terrible. This is bad. Blame Democrats. What Donald Trump says, specifically in this term, is this is terrible. This is bad. I'm going to fix it. And what the political message there is not even really a let's ensure that people understand that the Democrats get the blame for this, because everybody knows that the Democrats get the blame for it. Look at the southern border when you've got Joe Biden saying the only reason the border isn't safe is because the Republicans in the House wouldn't get together on a bipartisan bill to streamline people coming into the country. It didn't stop people from coming into the country. It organized the paperwork. Joe Biden said Congress needs to act and the House Republicans won't get on board. Well, that was a bunch of bologna sausage, and you knew it, and I knew it. We all knew it the whole time, but you just have to bang your head into the wall over and over and over again, no pun intended, to try to figure out how are we going to fix this, because the inevitable felt like the Joe Bidens of the world and the Kamala Harrises of the world, because you and I both believe that they'll steal it. They'll take it. We don't live in a society anymore that is going to have elections that aren't going to be meddled with. How big does a Republican have to win in order for them to actually win? And Donald Trump did it. And he's doing it. He's making good on it. And he's been there for like 5 minutes. We're 7 months in. I think January 21st was Inauguration Day, I think. We are 7 months in to Donald Trump's second term. Every second counts, and he knows that. And we are so fortunate. I know some of you, I don't know, DJ from yesterday is still listening. I hope you're okay. Thanks for listening. Truly do. We are so fortunate to be able to watch this in the middle of an incredibly impactful, transformational American history story that we are living right now. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get Hans's thoughts on this big development. As of today, the New York Appeals Court throwing out the $500 million penalty against Trump in the Letitia James civil case. We're going to get down to what was this case about? What was he charged for? What was he found guilty for? Is he still guilty? Newsflash, he is still considered to be guilty in this civil case. But that $500 million obligation, he gets to put that back in his pocket. Maybe he'll donate it to his magnificent library. That's going to be the coolest place ever to go. I can't wait. Let's take a quick break and get Hans back on the show. Don't go away. RulerFoods.com. You shopping and saving at Ruler Foods? I certainly am. Right now, you can save on 80% lean ground beef, just $4.88 a pound. It comes in a convenient 3-pound roll. If you want to shop produce, we love the produce at Ruler Foods. Right now, they have a pound of strawberries, just $1.88. That's really amazing. They've got DiGiorno pizza, the fancy man's frozen pizza. DiGiorno pizza is only $3.99 each. You can stock up on that. That's a cheap way to eat a dinner for an evening. All of the sales that they have at Ruler Foods, you can find at rulerfoods.com. But anything that you go in to shop there, chances are they've got the name brands that you love. They also carry Kroger brands, which are wonderful. We buy them in bulk sometimes in our house at Ruler Foods prices, and you're going to spend less on that grocery cart when you move through Ruler Foods. They also have now through September 3rd, when you go to rulerfoods.com, you can get a $10 off a $60 delivery purchase. Here's what you do. Throw in the code SUPERSAVER. You heard it here. SUPERSAVER at rulerfoods.com to save $10 on a $60 delivery. rulerfoods.com.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
Rolling hot dogs 2 for $5 on a fluffy bun. All beef hot dogs rolling in. Hurry, cause they're on the run. Pick your toppings anyway. Roll into this deal. Pick your 2, big Q2. Roll and make some meal. Mustard relish, sauerkraut. Ain't no need to scream and shout. Get 2 all beef hot dogs and a big Q for $5. Only at QT. More than a gas station.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
An appeals court has just thrown out President Donald Trump's $364 million civil fraud penalty. This just happened. It is a developing story. We're getting a lot more information, a big news story for the day. We're going to bring you more details.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
in our form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
You'll never know what I'm going to talk to Hans about until basically minutes before the interview because news travels and happens so fast. Hans, welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks. And yeah, boy, what a news day with that unbelievably unjustified $500 million fine against the president getting thrown out by an appeals court in New York.
So let me ask you, let's start from kind of square one here so that the people can catch up because, as you certainly remember, there was so much lawfare going on that a lot of times in our minds it gets a little tangled up. What is this civil case that had in the $300 million of penalty? What was the civil case with Letitia James, the Attorney General in New York, specifically about?
Well, Letitia James came in and claimed that commercial mortgages that the Trump organization had obtained on its, big commercial properties in New York, that when they went to the banks to borrow the money, that they submitted values of those buildings that were far in excess of what they were actually valued at. The problem with that case, and this tells you a lot about the judge in this case, Judge Orgaman said that the president was guilty before the trial even started. The trial was just about how big the fine would be. And there were two other important things. First of all, the president's team brought in appraisers who said, no, the values were correct. The state of New York is undervaluing. And another big point, and this was actually made by one of the judges in this huge opinion, over 300 pages. They said, look, the loans were all paid back with interest. And in fact, the banks were on the side of Trump, saying they hadn't been defrauded by anything. And yet the judge instituted, like I said, almost $500 million in fines. What the Court of Appeals said was, this fine is excessive, and therefore it violates the Eighth Amendment. The Eighth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution says that excessive fines cannot be imposed on you. And if I could just take a minute, this is a very important amendment, and the reason for it fits this situation like a glove. That amendment was put in there. It came from the English Bill of Rights of 1689. Why? Remember, there was a revolution against the Stuart kings, and what did Stuart's judges do? They would target the enemies of the king, claim they had violated the law, and then impose huge fines on them. Doesn't that sound exactly like what Letitia James did in New York? I mean, it's the situation historically exactly of what happened. Political lawfare, which is what Donald Trump was saying it was the entire time that they were trying to bankrupt him. He said they won't stop him. It's really, to me, unbelievable to know how much, to what lengths they went to try to politically cut his legs from beneath him and how he's been able to withstand it. It's just a matter of time until these things kind of rectify themselves. I do want to note with this case that $500 million, which I guess is the initial judgment plus interest, that $500 million fine now goes away. But the judgment in the case, the liability has remained, is my understanding. So it's not like President Trump has been exonerated by this particular appeals court. Is that correct? Well, they left in place the injunction. the judge did two things in this case, the lower court judge. One, he imposed this gigantic fine, but two, he issued an injunction saying that neither Trump nor his two sons could be involved in running these corporations for several years in New York. Well, yeah, I mean, they should have thrown that out too, but big deal. He's president. He's president right now. He's not going to be running these corporations anyway. I actually think that was just a face-saving political move by these appellate court judges, because Ergemon, like I said, the judge in this case, is going to look bad enough with this huge fine being thrown out. And so they leave this injunction in place that I don't think is going to do very much to the Trump family. It's not fair, but it's not going to really hurt them.
Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us right now, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, very well versed in all of these different elements of lawfare that have been levied against Donald Trump. I can't have a conversation on this show without having people come onto our YouTube chat and remind me of 34 felonies. So shifting gears a little bit here, those felonies are under appeal. Is that correct?
That is what this is. That's what this is all about. I mean, that was a ridiculous case. They took something and claimed that it was a violation of federal campaign finance law. I've written extensively about this, and I know about this because I was a commissioner on the FEC, the Federal Election Commission. What they claim is that the Trump campaign paid out money that it didn't report. That Trump paid out money for a hush agreement, a settlement agreement
with Stormy,
and this should have been reported as a campaign finance expense. The FEC said that's not a campaign finance expense. That's a personal expense. And yet, what did Letitia James and the state prosecutor do? They went to court and claimed that not reporting this personal expense as a federal campaign finance expense, that was fraud and a felony. Well, the state has no right to enforce federal law on campaign finance issues, and both the Justice Department, and that includes the Biden Justice Department, and the FEC said this was a personal expense. It wasn't a campaign expense. Therefore, it did not need to be reported with federal campaigns. So anybody who says that to you, they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, you know what? They're not thinking, they're feeling. They hate Trump. It's a talking point.
Right.
They love to repeat it. Is it possible, is it likely even, that those 34 felonies could go up on appeal and get rescinded?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you they should be, because that was a bogus case from the very beginning. And look, anybody who doubts that, they can find the articles I've written in which I very extensively explain why these were bogus cases. And once again, these were just let's get Trump cases.
Mm-hmm. Completely. Hans von Spakovsky with us. I want to shift, same arena, different subject matter. Everybody wanted to pin something on Donald Trump. Everybody wanted to get Trump. They manufactured a crime. They got it in the right district. They got it in the right courtroom. They got the felonies. Now in appeal, slowly but surely, they're losing what they've won. Let's shift over to Adam Schiff and Letitia James, two people who are in maybe some serious legal trouble. I would like for you, Hans, to assess for us the actual no one is above the law legal concern that you would have if you were Adam Schiff right now.
Well, members of Congress automatically, when they're elected, get access to classified documents without having to go through the kind of security background check everybody else does. But they are affected by the very same federal laws that says that you cannot disclose classified documentation. And look, there are plenty of former federal employees who've been prosecuted under those laws. We have a whistleblower, a Democratic staffer who worked for the committee that Schiff was on for 10 years, saying that Schiff, in a meeting, said, we are going to disclose classified information because we wanted to hurt Donald Trump. That means that he did, according to that whistleblower, he violated the federal laws, and he can be prosecuted for that. Members of Congress are not above the law when it comes to disclosure of classified information.
Hans,
do you
think,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to interject there and say he can be prosecuted for it. Hans, do you think Adam Schiff should be prosecuted for it?
Yes. It is very important that classified documentation not be released. And the fact that you are a political figure, as opposed to maybe a federal employee who works in the Department of Defense, shouldn't give you some kind of immunity to releasing classified documents. I mean, that just shouldn't happen. Letitia James's problem is the same problem that the former DA in Baltimore had. In this case, Letitia James apparently, in order to get good loan terms on a mortgage, does that sound familiar?
Yes, it does.
Claimed that her principal residence was in Virginia, not New York, where she's an AG. Well, that's potentially providing false information on a federal mortgage form. And the DA in Baltimore was federally prosecuted when she did the same thing, except she did it in Florida, bought a house in Florida, claimed it was her principal residence, and she was prosecuted for it.
Hans, as a constitutional scholar that you are and a legal brilliant mind, if you were watching this movie, you wouldn't believe the irony. It'd be like jumping the shark. You'd be like, you've got to be kidding me. Come up with something more unique than this. But here we are, and it is real life.
It is real life, and I think if you went to a big Hollywood production company with this as a plot, they'd say, oh, come on, this is so unrealistic. Nobody will believe this.
I don't believe it, but here we are. Hans, always a pleasure to have you with us. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Sure.
Take
Thanks
care.
for having me.
Bye-bye. What will we discuss next week on this show with Hans von Spakovsky? I don't know, but I can't wait for it. The YouTube live chat poll for today: should Missouri redraw its congressional map? There's a little suggestion out there that is coming. Texas successfully was able to pass the map that they want to. Donald Trump says that's a +5 map. That's what everybody seems to say for the Republican side. Gavin Newsom says, I bet it says White Claw. What do you think Gavin Newsom drinks? Hold my box of wine? I don't know what kind of booze he drinks, but I don't think it's a beer unless he thinks it's politically advantageous. I'll just say that. I'm sure it's a very low-calorie beer, not like a diesel kind of situation. What do you think? Should Missouri go ahead and do it? They've got the people in the legislature. They've got the Republican governor, the Republican legislature. Can they do it? Should they do it? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Fight fire with fire, or stand for what is right, or you don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's a yes or no question. It's on the Annie Frye YouTube channel, and you need to go vote. When we come back, we'll get Ryan back in here and hit a couple more of the big stories of the day, including the latest with the redistricting. Don't go away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. I like you to be able to connect with issues that you have with good people that I know. And that's Matt Hayes. That's Home Shield Foundation Repairs, a very experienced professional when it comes to a whole sort of things, but he really knows what he's doing when it comes to the foundation concerns that you have, specifically leveling out this concrete that you have been avoiding. And it gets worse, and then it becomes a safety hazard. You got to do something about it. Just call someone you can trust. Call someone who's going to come out and say, all right, I see what your situation is. Here's what I can do for you. And then you can decide from there, yeah, I'm going to hire you. Most people do. Matt Hayes is great. He's got an amazing crew, and they're just a phone call away to schedule that appointment to have them come out to your business, to your home. 314-227-9636, 314-227-9636. Give them a call, tell them Annie sent you, and ask about how polyjacking can maybe level out that uneven concrete at your home and at your business. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Oh, yeah. You ready to go after this thing? Should Missouri redraw
You better be specific.
its congressional map?
He's talking about a piece of cake.
I might be talking about a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready to go after this thing?
Do you think this is going to be a piece of cake?
In Missouri, if they want to, yeah. I think
Missouri
it will
redraw its
be.
congressional
It's not
map.
a can we, it's a should we.
It's a yes or no is what it is on the YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. 1237. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Better if you said I don't give a darn.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Do you have anything more to say on the $500 million don't have to pay that anymore for Donald Trump?
I do. I think we should get Letitia James on the show.
Brett?
I think we should ask Letitia James, just point blank. Until we can tell her ahead of time. What we're gonna ask you is, what is mortgage fraud? And say you have a lot of knowledge in this topic. You've prosecuted the president of the United States.
She's going to say, I don't know anything about that. I had other people do my paperwork for me. I signed the documents, but I'm paying trusted professionals to do it.
And if that's her answer, that's fine. We just want to get her on the show.
But also, that was Donald Trump's defense. In his case.
That's something that you as a great interviewer would say then.
If I got Letitia James on the show, what would I ask her? I'd be like, why are you so angry?
Why have you agreed to do this? This was a mistake on your part.
I don't understand how, like, the TDS, I don't feel like there's an end to that. Joe Biden could not, him winning that election and his presidency could not have felt super satisfying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, if you were a Biden supporter, you wouldn't be like,
Trump,
oh, finally,
thank you. If you hate Trump, and he loses in 2020, it would feel good that he lost. But you're like, Joe
Biden?
this the best we could do? And then they're like, no, this is the worst we could do. Let's change. Who we got?
Now, I do think there would have been people who were genuinely excited, not a lot of them, but some, for Kamala Harris. They would have quickly realized it was a mistake.
Did you see the video that I shared on X last night? It was a recap of the 2016 election, and it's like a 6-minute video, and it's walking through how Hillary Clinton, like it's showing the stage that the Clinton campaign had set up. They were in, I don't even know what this building was, but it was the gigantic building was basically made out of glass because the idea was we're going to break the glass ceiling. And then she lost. And the whole setup of everything Hillary Clinton was certain victory. It was absolute certitude that they were going to win, and they were already thinking about, like, what are we going to do in the midterms to make this even bigger? And then they go to the Trump campaign stop, and it's kind of a meager room, especially for Donald Trump. It's not some sort of opulent magnificence that Donald Trump would have at a Trump hotel. It's nice, but it's not Trumpian. And I'm pretty sure that Michael Moore is narrating this thing.
It's from a Michael Moore movie.
Yes. And that makes it so much better. I want to play it on the air, but at the end, he says something like, WTF are we going to do? And I'm like, just wait and see, buddy. But it's just they didn't have any idea what was going to happen. And I remember walking around after Donald Trump won in 2016 for like at least... Well, I mean, it was probably till he got inaugurated because I was expecting the whole time for someone to be like, oh, actually, we found this thing in the Constitution that says that Trumps are not allowed to be president or something like that. I don't know. And I couldn't believe it. And I had just started being a part of an on-air weekend show on 97.1 in 2016 in that summer. So I'd been following it very closely, and I just couldn't believe it. But the satisfaction, there was a little more fear in the first win because it was like, can he do this job? I remember thinking in my head, President Trump? That sounds so weird. I don't even, like, I got to say this out loud to myself so that I can say it with some conviction when I'm on the air. I was nervous that now that the Republicans had been given this very slim victory in 2016, I was nervous that we'd completely fumble it and that it would be like an assured Democrats are going to have the next 10 years, decade of my life, whatever. And he really didn't do it. He came out the gate and conservative this, conservative that. I don't, was kind of what we started talking about in the first segment, but I just can't believe this man's story arc. Like how many movies has his life? How many movies could you pull out of one guy's life?
And percentage-wise, if you just consider that he's going to have 2 terms, you're really only about, 60% of the way through the story? There's still a lot left.
I mentioned that I've been watching West Wing with my kids. My husband and I we are rewatching it now. President Bartlett's a Democrat, so we have to have a lot of discussions. I had the thought driving home the other day. I'm like, what if I'm creating little Democrats now? Because the characters, my daughter's like, I really like these people, and she's, we're talking about the politics of it. I'm like, you should like people based on whether they're good people or not good people, not about politics. But how successful would a show be right now if you could put a show on the air that mimicked this moment in time and showed the behind the scenes of how the West Wing actually functions, the people who are involved in helping make decisions happen? When the president tonight is going to go out on patrol in D.C., in my mind, Trump's going, I want to go out on patrol. And they're like, sir, we really don't think that's a good idea. And he's like, well, I'm going to do it, so you're going to figure out how to do it. And so then you have all these staffers running around trying to coordinate to make sure that the president of the United States can go on patrol in a city where 2 weeks ago you didn't go out and walk around in the streets of Washington, D.C. if you were John Doe. Now Donald Trump's going to be out on the streets in some capacity tonight. He's proving a point. There is an action that he's willing to put with his words, with his policy. It's the most mind-blowing thing of what this man does. The action, the percentage of what he does that is action versus what is words. And it's really interesting to compare that balance of how much action he's willing to put into the whole package, that really, what is the left always trying to make you hate about Donald Trump? What he says. It's not about what he does. It's about he's supposed to be a detestable human being. Mean tweets. Mean tweets might have been, in and of itself, a significant part of what lost him the 2020 election. They want you to hate him because he makes you angry, because you don't like the way he talks. Meanwhile, he's doing all of these things that are in a really 80-20 or more bipartisan way. Common sense moves. They're not even radical moves. And in a lot of ways, they're more populist than they are even conservative. I will be very curious to watch people, probably Gen Zers right now, who Donald Trump has really persuaded. Apparently the White House is on TikTok now. The campaign was on TikTok, but Donald Trump, his White House has now put themselves on TikTok. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But there is a whole young generation that's kind of in play right now. They're paying attention, and I feel like the young millennials were kind of just raised in a time where it's just the right thing to do to be a Democrat, to be a progressive, to be a bleeding heart liberal. I think the natural sway of the way culture moves, I think that these younger people are at least considering the fact that they could have a say in how they feel, which I'm grateful for our children.
Young people are always looking to be rebels. Oh, it's the time when you're like, I'm thinking for myself now. And that, for whatever reason, for a generation was Democrat. It's anti-establishment, you're Democrat.
Counterculture.
Now you're anti-establishment and you're against the Democrats.
Yeah.
They kind of are the establishment. They run the major institutions.
You want to flip the bird to the man? The Republicans are the bird flippers, and ironically, the man is the left. I guess their pronouns are he, him. Let's take a quick break. We'll give Wiggins America a shot when we come back. Things to get rid of right now? Like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Right now. Next on the Annie Fry Show. AirComfortService.com. I want you to understand how much Air Comfort Service knows that when it comes time to replace that HVAC system, you're going to need a little bit of help trying to make that new HVAC system you're going to put in your home affordable. And they are there in spades to make it a possibility for you. First of all, free estimates. So you can have Air Comfort Service come out to your home, and they will look at what you got going on. They'll give you the opportunity to repair things if it's repairable, give you a price on that. But then, of course, if you're looking to potentially replace the system, they can tell you that as well. When we had to replace our furnace and our AC unit, both times they came out and they're like, here's the deal. This is what it's going to take to replace it, and this is what it's going to cost to fix it. And we were like, okay, fine, we'll invest in the replacement. It's made more financial sense at the time. Free estimates, so you get into it knowing full well what you were looking at. 0% financing for up to 72 months. And they also, when you have a whole HVAC system installed, they're going to throw in a free safety package. If you want to learn more about that, 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Give them a call. Tell them Annie sent you online at aircomfortservice.com.
Mark Cox, 97.1 FM Talk.
Here we are, 11 years later, and the lies continue about why Mike Brown died that day.
The Mark Cox Morning Show, weekdays from 5 to 9, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Boom, right to it. Here we go. Things you need to get rid of right now. Stuff that's in your
Co-hosts.
house. Yeah. The third wheel in the room is what you're referring to, right?
I don't know who's second, third, and fourth in this room.
I don't either. But it's definitely not me. Instruction manuals for long gone appliances. You got any of those laying around?
Yeah, they're all online, people.
They are all online now. And you have to realize
you guys
this.
kept those?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You didn't?
I still have a lot of them.
Some of them have the manufacturer warranty information in it, though.
Mhm.
That's why I always keep them. And, like, if you register them.
That's the ones that are in the little bag.
That would make sense.
No, they're in the top left corner of my pantry.
Yeah, but they're in a little
where things
Ziploc
go
bag,
until I move into a new home.
See? They're the good ones you keep in a bag. So
Say
weather doesn't
Ziploc
get
bag
to 'em.
again like that with your hands.
Ziploc bag.
Donald Trump. You look like a small Donald Trump.
Yeah, except I'm being a little weirder about it.
Ryan, that's what you do.
Get rid of
Are you drunk?
Get rid of your manuals. Chipped and mismatched dishes.
Mm-hmm.
You can get rid of those.
Mm-hmm.
Although you never think that you can get rid of them.
I bought from Target. They have, like, you can just buy one plate. They're these white porcelain square plates. They don't come in the big box where you're like, oh, it's setting for 4. I went to Target and bought them like that so that I could do exactly that. When they chip, get rid of them. Have I gone back to Target to buy more? No, because I don't go to Target. But I do subscribe to that. Once they chip or they're bad, get rid of them.
You subscribe to a plate manufacturer?
I subscribe to the idea.
How much do you pay
I'll talk
monthly
slower
for
for you,
this?
Ryan.
Mm-hmm. It's like the old CD clubs, but it's just
He doesn't
silverware.
even know
He's
that.
so
Columbia.
He doesn't know. Yeah, I said it to him as if he's going to be like, oh, yeah, the old CD clubs.
Yeah. What is this CD that you're talking of?
How about unused
Certificate of
electronics and chargers? You hanging on to those?
Not the ones that don't work anymore.
I'm not getting rid of those.
I have a whole box that's just labeled cords.
Got a drawer.
And I don't ever use anything in it. But I'm scared to death at some point I'm going to go, I wish I would have kept that cord for that one thing.
It doesn't take up so much space. I mean, some of those things, like if it's like the little circle power thing that goes into like an old phone or something like that, if that's you're not going to be able to buy some of that stuff anymore.
Right.
So it's not taking up so much space to me to have a reasonable sized box or tote where you put the stuff away that you can rummage through if you need it.
What would you use it for, though?
Yeah, if you're not...
I can think of very much. I can think of like camcorders that I have. Do you know what a camcorder is? Like little video cameras that I had over the course of time. If you were to go to grandma's house and they had some sort of camcorder, that might be the only way that you're going to be able to look at those videos and transfer them into some sort of digitized way. So what does it hurt to have a cord that maybe you won't be able to get later to utilize the thing? I know that it's like that piece of wood that you've got stuck in the back you're waiting for the perfect use for. I know that the likelihood of you using it is not, but of all the things that I'm wanting to keep, I'm always thinking like, how easy is it to replace this? If I find out in 3 months, I can't believe I threw that away, I need that now, how easy is it to replace it? If it's a piece of wood, you can go get a piece of wood, you cut it to size. You can do that. But I don't know that, especially with electronics, especially ones that so quickly go out of date, that you can always do that as easily.
It's actually why I kept some of my old brick phones from the early 2000s.
I have all my phones.
I don't know. I just can't throw it away.
You know what you should do? You should buy a Faraday bag. You should buy a solar-powered battery charger and put the phones with information on them in a Faraday bag with a charger and like its own charger and a battery charger. Put it on the Faraday bag and put it away.
Do you have a recommended brand or website I could visit?
Amazon.
Interesting.
That's what I've done.
Amazon.com?
Nope, not for you.
It's actually .gov.
.uk. You get the expensive version, you jerk. Next one, excessive coffee mugs. I can say it.
I'm like, get rid of the coffee mugs that match your plates and just have fun coffee mugs.
Let's just have fun with this thing.
Yeah, agreed.
You don't need you're not a formal person. You don't need fancy coffee mugs. You're not having people over for
brunch.
I have people over for brunch all the time. But, like, I put out my fun coffee mugs for people who want coffee. I don't put out the ones that match the old set of stuff that I don't have anymore.
What kind of fun coffee mugs are you talking about here?
You trying to pin me down? Disney ones. Leave me alone.
Disney? Okay.
I've got one that's got a whole bunch of different Disney character shapes on the outside, but it's all in dark blue. And when you put the hot coffee in it, as it gets hot, the characters, the color comes through.
Ooh.
So the mug tells you whether if it's hot.
Ryan, do you have any fun ones?
My father-in-law used to have one with Captain Kirk and Spock on it that when you poured hot stuff in, they went into they vaporized. What's it called? They teleported.
They vaporized.
they disappeared.
Sounds real fun.
Landed that one.
Old scraps of wrapping paper.
Almost as fun as listening to you try and say that.
Wrapping paper, unless it's Christmas, I think we have like a section of Christmas wrapping paper. Now, in our house, we always have 4 different kinds of wrapping paper because we wrap the kids' presents by wrapping paper. Then we don't have to label all of them. So you just put out all the Charlies will be in a
That's
plaid.
really smart. I remember you saying that before and thinking, I need to do that, and I've never done it.
So we will have that, but we don't have any additional. And then you need to have 1 roll of birthday paper somewhere in your house.
Yeah, or a bunch of bags.
No.
Okay.
Get rid of the bags. People like to unwrap things.
I'm sorry, bags are not on this list.
I'm a bagger. Always a bagger.
And I wish to apologize to Brad.
In gifts that you give?
Correct.
But isn't it fun to unwrap a gift as opposed to pull something out of a bag? I'm talking about taking the time to give somebody the opportunity to unwrap.
It was more fun unwrapping Annie's present than unbagging Ryan's.
It's because it was a better present.
That's your fault for not tearing through the side of the bag.
Corey DeAngelis on freeing teachers from the union grasp. Next, don't go away.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more.
A family member or friend that gets paid weekly. This Medicaid program is available to eligible St. Louis residents.
New to Medicaid? The Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 5-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area,
this service is available through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid weekly. So go to freedomcare.com now, or for faster service, call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
With the heat we have here in St. Louis, just a note, most air conditioners aren't set or able to handle 100 degrees without running constantly. So before you freak out and think your air conditioner is bad, here's a few tips. If you don't have ceiling fans in your bedrooms, you can get pedestal fans and put them in your room. Keep those running all the time. On a second-story house, put 1 pedestal fan on top of your steps and blow it into the foyer area up high so it's cooling the heat as it's coming up and circulating the air. If you have an attic fan, simple, quick fix, plastic bag, cut it up, and duct tape, because what's happening is it's sucking in all your attic air and the heat and humidity from the outside. Try those things before you call anybody or you call me. But if you did that, please call me, Bart, Inman, 314-293-2600. Remember, 0% financing is available for most up to 60 months. God bless.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The president on patrol. Elisa Brady, Fox News. That's the plan tonight in the nation's capital, where a crime crackdown continues. President Trump plans to go on patrol with some of the federal law enforcement and National Guard members leading the effort, no doubt with a lot of security.
There are obviously extreme security concerns anytime that the president even comes out on the lawn behind a tall fence and with a small army of Secret Service agents here.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House.
We know that there are a ton of additional federal assets in some of the real problem spots for crime in Washington, D.C. And the major crime stats, they're all down in Washington, D.C. for the last couple days. And so President Trump wants to go out there and talk about how it is safe enough even for a president to go where no president has gone before, which would be some of these very dangerous areas at night if there is not an event going on.
D.C. leaders have argued violent crime was already declining. President Trump says an appeals court ruling is a total victory, tossing out a more than $500 million penalty in a New York civil fraud case.
2 of the judges cited trial errors. 2 other justices said the penalty violated President Trump's 8th Amendment constitutional rights, barring excessive fines. However, the majority of the court, 4 out of the 5 justices, found the president, his sons, and the Trump organization still liable for business fraud, for falsifying and misleading financial forms to obtain business advantages like more favorable loans.
Fox's Brian Yennis, a majority also finding that New York's Attorney General Letitia James had authority to pursue the case. She plans to appeal today's ruling on the penalty. The president has accused her of election interference. Israel plans to resume talks on a ceasefire and hostage deal with Hamas. However, the prime minister also just confirming he will give final approval for a takeover of Gaza City. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our summer weather certainly taking a little bit of a vacation, and we will take it. And this cool flow from the northwest gets stronger for the second half of the weekend. Mostly sunny this afternoon, 85 degrees, clear skies tonight. What a great evening. 67 for the low. Friday and Saturday sunny, 89 each day. Sunday sunny, and a high of 83, 50 Sunday night. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Byrne.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their Honor Flight today at gsl.honorflight.org. And for HVAC services, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
My older son's history teacher allowed students to label him a Nazi file simply for his interest in history and participation in ROTC. She later nominated my son as the most likely to become a dictator and had his classmates vote on it and try to force him to the front of the class to receive the certificate, which he rightly refused, all because of his conservative values and our perspectives.
So there you have a parent at a school board meeting in Florida highlighting that a teacher nominated her child most likely to be a dictator, had the classroom vote on it, and tried to force him to come up to the front of the room to accept the certificate because he's an ROTC kid and because he has conservative values. Why do these teachers hate conservatives so incredibly much? And where are they all getting away with it? Let's talk to Corey DeAngelis about it. I love talking to Corey about this subject because he puts his words with action. He's always working hard to expose but also push back against this absolute hysteria. Corey, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
Hey, Annie, thanks for having me.
When you saw this story, do you get surprised by these types of anecdotes anymore? Do they still make you go, what in the world?
A little bit, but yeah, it does happen all too often. And with this school district in particular, I wasn't really all that surprised. This is Alachua County Public Schools, and their school board member still wears a mask every day. Their board chair, named Sarah Rockwell, she just went viral a week ago because she had celebrated the death of Hulk Hogan because it was one less MAGA, because it was one less Republican in the world. It should have been one fewer Republican if she wanted to be correct. So there's a couple of problems there. But look, this lady is an unhinged leftist, wears her mask all the time. And they also went viral because when a parent in that district complained and went to the school board meeting, they had a deputy ordered to remove that parent. So they violated his First Amendment rights. And just yesterday, this went up all the way to the State Board of Education. The commissioner called on that State Board of Education to basically have that school board undergo training and to be in agreement that they violated that man's First Amendment rights. And they ultimately passed that resolution yesterday at the State Board of Education. So this is just one piece of this district in decay. And look, I mean, I'm glad Florida has school choice, but it's true that a lot of parents still stay in the public school systems. If you don't know it, you should poll your kids. These people hate you, but at the same time, you should try to hold them accountable. So I'm glad that people like this mother, spoke out and they're trying to hold the system accountable as well.
Corey DeAngelis speaking with us right now, author of The Parent Revolution. I encourage you to check out his book. So you are advocating for parents, you're advocating for students, but you're also advocating for teachers. And that's what I appreciate. From the top to the bottom of the system that's actually supposed to be invested in educating children, you are a strong advocate for all of those partners, the teachers, the parents, and the students alike. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things you're doing right now and how other people listening right now can get involved. If you're a teacher, if you're a parent, what can they do?
Yeah, look, Randy Weingart and Becky Pringle are the head of the national unions, and they are unhinged leftists, but they don't represent every single teacher. In fact, I found an Education Week survey nationwide finding that only 41% of teachers nationwide identify as Democrats. The other 59% are either Republicans or independents, yet 99% of the union's contributions go to Democrat politicians. So these are money laundering operations for the Democrat Party. They ought to be illegal, but they're out of step with their rank and file members. You look at where the money's going. The money doesn't make its way into the classroom. It goes to Randy and Becky, who make over $500,000 a year. It goes to their political pet projects, and it goes towards hiring more people, which gives them a bigger voting block, more power to push for their political agenda. But it doesn't go to teacher salaries. Teacher salaries are flat over time, even though we've thrown more and more money at the problem than we've ever seen before. It's a definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But now we know that teachers have an opt-out mechanism too. They can starve the beast, dismantle the teachers' unions from the inside, and they can't be punished for doing so. We won at the Supreme Court a decision called the Janus decision, which says that teachers can no longer be compelled to pay union dues.
Yeah.
In Illinois, in
Illinois.
California, and all states, red or blue. And so independents and conservatives would be crazy to continue funneling their money to the far left arm of the Democrat Party known as the Teachers Union, because they can opt out and they can get their liability insurance for free now from the Teacher Freedom Alliance. They're having donors cover it. And so, look, why not keep $1,000 a year that you're paying in dues to the unions, keep that in your own pocket as a teacher, and you can still be protected with liability insurance with people who actually like you at the Teacher Freedom Alliance. So this is a great opportunity. They've already announced that over 2,500 teachers have fled the system, and they just announced this like a month ago. And so thousands of teachers are locking arms and saying, no more. I'm not going to fund Kamala Harris and Joe Biden anymore. That's through dues that are being extorted from me, because now you can opt out. You can be protected with the liability insurance. And I think this is the way forward, because Randy Weingarten fears this more than anything else. She fears school choice, obviously. Parents can defund the government school monopoly that they staff. But when you can defund the union directly with using the teachers, that is a powerful tool. We already have Moms for Liberty. This reminds me of a new renaissance called the Teachers for Liberty. They can really fight back and win.
Yeah, I love it. I love everything about it. It's called Teacher Freedom Alliance. And, you know, did you say, what was the percentage? 40-something% of teachers are Democrats?
41 identify as Democrats. Most of them are independents.
I think that's a number, a statistic, Corey, that would shock people. Because I think that if you went out and asked a bunch of people, like, what percentage of teachers would you say are Democrat voters or Democrat leaning? I think my guess would be like 75%, and I'd be kind of hedging my bets a little bit there.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you listen to people like Randy Weingarten jumping up and down behind the stage. She looks like she has a trampoline behind the podium, and Becky Pringle just screaming at the top of her lungs. You look at their NEA resolutions this year; they read more like a declaration of war on the Trump administration than anything else. That none of them had anything to do with education. And so when you look at their Teacher of the Year this year, out of 3 million members, they chose one person to elevate to the top. Her name was Ashley Crossan, and she went on the stage, let the mask slip, where she said that her job, in her view as a teacher, was quote unquote deeply political and always had been. So when you see people like that they elevate, you might think, oh, all teachers must be crazy, but there are a bunch of them who have power to fight back against that nonsense by pulling their funding directly. That will do more to dismantle the unions by killing it from the inside, figuratively speaking, than school choice even. School choice is powerful for parents, but the teachers also, it's like a pincer move. There's a two-pronged approach, school choice and teacher choice. This is the way to dismantle the monopoly and hold people like Randy Weingarten accountable. This might not destroy the union altogether, especially if they switch their game up. Maybe they'll scratch their head and say, maybe we should care about teachers' rights. Maybe we should, I don't know, focus on increasing salaries as opposed to pushing our political ideologies into the classroom. I think that would be a better world for everyone, except for Randy Weingarten and Becky Pringle, who make over $500,000 a year.
Yeah, competition breeds accountability. And right now, these teachers' unions don't really have any. I know that teachers feel beholden to these teachers' unions. They don't feel like they have a choice. There are many teachers who pay into the union because they think it's the only way that they can be protected. And the Teacher Freedom Alliance gives these people an out. It gives you the opportunity to continue to be protected and not have to funnel all of that money to the political whims of the far, far left.
That's right. And I actually locked arms with them at the NEA building last month. The Teacher Freedom Alliance was there at a press conference with me where we were all calling on Congress to revoke the NEA's federal charter. They're the only union in the country that has this special privilege that was bestowed to them by Congress in 1906, over 100 years ago. They have strayed so far from their original purpose that we now have teachers even calling on Congress to revoke the backing of the federal government from that union, the National Education Association, the largest labor union in the country. And look, and if they want to keep their federal charter, they should have more accountability. There's another bill in Congress which is now saying, well, if they're going to keep it, how about we prohibit them from engaging in political activity? You want to keep your federal charter, fine, but you cannot lobby and be a political arm of the Democrat Party no more. And so I'm hopeful that bill will move. The thing is, we do require a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate, which Republicans do not have at the moment. But maybe some common sense Democrats will come along. I mean, wouldn't Randy Weingarten be upset about this? Her union doesn't have a federal charter, only Becky's. So, maybe some Democrats will say, well, what about all these other unions I support? How about we put everybody on equal footing and don't have these special carve-outs just for one union that also happens to be the most influential, biggest one in the country.
Yeah. Corey DeAngelis speaking with us. Your book is The Parent Revolution. And I want to ask you one more question before we let you go, because we're talking a lot about teachers there. And a side note to that, I would really like to see more movement. Potentially, I don't know if this falls under the Teacher Freedom Alliance purview, but that Maryland Supreme Court case that protected those families from sending their kindergartners to school to have sex ed by who knows is putting that stuff in there. I need to know if there's protection for teachers to say, I'm not teaching this. Like, when you hand me over this curriculum, there are families who don't want to have their children in the classroom to learn it. Do the teachers have the right to say, I'm not teaching this?
Yeah, that's a separate Supreme Court decision. You're referring to Mahmoud v. Taylor, which allows parents to opt their kids out of gender ideology. But teachers do have the power to fight back too, especially if it goes against their religious rights, forcing gender ideology into the classroom. So teachers should fight back. I'm also at the Liberty Justice Center, and we represent cases pro bono very, very often to protect people and uphold their First Amendment rights. We're also the organization that took that Janus decision all the way to the Supreme Court and won, that allows teachers to opt out of the teachers' unions without having any repercussions for doing so. We do need, my book is called The Parent Revolution. We need a teacher revolution as well. And I will tell you, I don't know if you've seen Randy Weingarten's new book, but it looks exactly like mine. I mean, the color scheme is the same. The font's the same. Mine was endorsed by Trump.
Plagiarism.
I know. It's just the head of the teachers union. But her word in red is fascist. Mine is parent. She's calling parents fascist, I think. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for her. But
Corey, you are living rent-free in her head. She probably sees you in her nightmares every evening.
Yeah, so get her a copy. Get yourself a copy of mine and send her a copy too. She'll be very thrilled to see a book that looks just like hers. I mean, she must have really liked the
did a good job.
Color scheme and everything. So we'll see.
Maybe people will accidentally pick yours up thinking that'd be great. Yeah. Corey, please come back soon. Keep fighting. We are so grateful for it as a mother, as a wife to a teacher. I can't express how grateful I am for what you're doing, leading this charge. We're always grateful when you come share some of that with us here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Annie. Good talking to you.
Good to talk to you, too. The Parent Revolution. Go get that book. Get one for yourself and send one to Randy Weingarten. That's kind of funny. Why would she do that? Gosh. It's kind of like watching Gavin Newsom try to parrot Donald Trump, and it's like, no, this doesn't work for you, buddy. It doesn't work for you. It didn't even honestly work for Donald Trump for a moment, but Gavin Newsom thinks he's going to win people over by that. Everybody thinks that mocking Donald Trump is a winning strategy until it's not. Mr. Governor Newsom, people like Donald Trump now. Sorry that we have to break it to you that way. All right, let's take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins coming back in studio with us here in just a minute. I want to talk a little bit about redistricting and what Texas was able to pull off. And let's just discuss the merits of it. Our YouTube poll for today is, should Missouri redraw its congressional map, yes or no? We're going to discuss it a little bit. Maybe we'll take some of your phone calls when we return. Don't go away.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
If you've been injured in a trucking accident in St. Louis, you need attorneys who live here and work here. We know the STL and fight for the STL. You need Kaufman Townsley. Real people, real results. Call 314-500-5000.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com. What's the most important thing when it comes to getting your roof replaced? Honesty, because honestly, most of us don't know what it takes to replace a roof. Mark Cox here from my friends at Correll Roofing Company. Curtis Correll is a friend of mine. I've known him for many years. And when he came to my house to look at my roof, he brought back pictures and showed me where the damage was from the hail. He worked with my insurance adjuster. He made sure I understood exactly what they would be replacing on my roof. Are they putting down felt? Are they replacing any wood? What quality of shingle are you getting on your roof? These are all questions most of us don't know to ask, so you need to be able to trust the person who is doing the work for you. You can trust Curtis Correll. He's got crews with over 20 years of experience. He pays attention to detail with quality materials and workmanship. Call him at 314-222-9529. That's 314-222-9529 or Correll Roofing Co. on Facebook.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
With conviction and clarity, The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, need you to stay.
YouTube poll for today. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Are you surprised to hear, Ryan, that Missouri is considering this?
I am shocked. Yeah, I really did not think that they would do it, but I'm very happy to hear that they are.
You are?
I am.
So you're a yes?
I've been a yes on this since 2020. I am not late to this game. I've been arguing for this for a long time.
Why?
Because this is the outcome of gerrymandering. This is what was going to happen with gerrymandering. I didn't know that it would happen mid-decade, but this is the way that it was going to play out until a court was going to step in or somehow Congress and the White House step in and agreed to something. This is the natural result of our gerrymandering laws, is that you'd have every state that has control maxing out their gerrymandering. The only fair way to do it under the system we have now.
So Illinois does it, California does it, what is it, Maryland does it. There's a lot of states that are doing this. New York redrew some maps in the last 2 years. They're all doing it, and now Texas.
Breaking tonight, Texas Republican legislators have just won their fight over redistricting. Just moments ago, the state House vote is now final. The bill aims to provide 5 additional congressional seats for the GOP. Correspondent Garrett Tenney shows us what's happening from Austin, Texas tonight. Good evening.
So that's Brett Baer reporting on that as it happened yesterday evening. 5 seats right now is like a doubling of the majority if they all go red.
That's huge.
And if they stay that way.
And if they stay that way, I don't know how deep we want to go into analysis here, but Texas's map is a little more secure than the potential California map would be if they switch theirs. California's has a little room for error in it if the GOP gains in a couple of key areas where Texas is probably locked in.
Or if the Supreme Court says that the racial-based districts are unconstitutional, that we would have no choice as a state but to go in and do a new congressional map. But this is something that's kind of stuck in my craw for a number of years, because I remember telling everybody we were going to get 2 seats in the last census. And then when they came out with them, we only got 1. And I was looking around and I'm like, they told me Rhode Island was going to lose a seat and we were going to get 2. And then Biden comes in. Who's the Commerce Secretary overseeing the census? Former governor of Rhode Island. Did Rhode Island lose a seat? No. Did Florida get 2? No, we only got 1. So there's all these questions. And so I've been frustrated with it. We were not going to get anywhere, I think, under the Biden administration. And I know the president has personally spoken about the need to get the census right. So we have an opportunity to do that and to basically give Floridians what they're entitled to.
I love Governor Ron DeSantis. Bringing that little anecdote there to the table that talks about, okay, so Rhode Island was supposed to lose 2, lose 1, Florida's supposed to gain 2. How come it doesn't happen? Looky here, you have the person in charge. It is widely known that the census was not done properly, that the results of the census were inappropriate, and that there are problems that need to be flushed out from that. And so I actually feel like the exception to the rule being a mid-decade redistricting, I think that there is sense to that. I wish they'd redo the whole census, and I wish it would be a top priority. I think one of the now that we can take a deep breath for a minute, because I think the border situation is under control, and they've got their handle on it. The border is under control. We have to manage the violent, illegal immigrants that are in this country and get them the hell out of here. There are going to be deep, divisive discussions on what to do with the nonviolent people who are here illegally. That's a conversation for another time. You have law and order being reinstated in the streets of our cities. Okay, Americans are starting to see common sense wherever they go back in play, back in business. Very happy to have that. Now we need to make sure that the funny business surrounding elections, the questionable behavior, has to be put to bed and has to be officially put to bed. What Donald Trump, this is just, I know there's a lot of politics that go into this, but what Donald Trump can get done legislatively with 5 more seats in Texas is significant for the second half of his second term. Profoundly, which is why it's so frustrating to them. There is more. I was listening to Kevin McCarthy on CNN today, and he's talking specifically about California, because California is the big, what are they going to do? Because, of course, they're gigantic. They're huge. What can they do? How bad can they do it? My understanding is that they have to go to the people and have a vote on it before they can redraw the maps.
They have to override their own fairness commission.
And the Fairness Commission was put in place by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
And it's something that Kevin McCarthy is advocating for, is to have this sort of commission that is nonpartisan, not just bipartisan, but nonpartisan, and encourages the people of the state of California to get to choose their officials, as opposed to the officials, the elected officials, to get to choose their voters. That's what he wants to have happen. That makes a lot of sense to me. I would assume it makes sense to all of us, that that's ideally the way it goes. But of course, we can't have nice things. That's not the way things end up. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was as a Republican governor of the state of California, but I would say as center of the political spectrum as you can possibly be, and in California that might even wink a little bit towards the left side of the aisle. But you'll take what you can get, folks. And Arnold Schwarzenegger influence is generally speaking going to be as good as it gets from a outspoken Republican perspective in California. He's very opposed to this gerrymandering thing, and he's out there being very vocal about that. And I think that actually still carries some weight. I think people have seen Arnold Schwarzenegger at times criticize Donald Trump, at times say some very common sense things in the face of people who just wanted him to criticize Donald Trump, and he wouldn't willfully do it, like The View. And I think there's a consistency to what California is doing right now. I could use a different phrase than playing with fire. What's the
winking at magic?
I think California is winking at magic.
There you go.
When they think that this is the point in time to go headfirst into the deep end of going bonkers leftist on redrawing these maps. I think that the Democrats in the state of California have fumbled so incredibly badly in the last probably 2 to 4 years. Gavin Newsom has embarrassed himself over and over and over again as the governor, specifically during COVID. What he, rules for thee, but not for me. Gavin Newsom is an embarrassment. And I think that people in California, I think there are Democrats who hate Gavin Newsom in California. I think there are Democrats who are disgusted by Mayor Bass in Los Angeles. I think top to bottom, Democrats, that's not the hot brand right now in California. That doesn't mean that Republicans are going to be the hot brand. But I don't know if the Democrats in the state of California decide to play stupid games right now with redistricting if they're not inevitably going to win stupid prizes. The domino effect of what is happening, you're saying, Ryan, that you have been advocating for Missouri to do something like this for a long time now. And this, like, people who get up in arms about this, the leftists are like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, I can't believe they're doing this. You started it. You started it. So if you're mad now that the Republicans put their gloves on and decided to join the fight and punch back, you started it. And yes, that sounds like a playground type of grade school retort, but you started that too. So here we are. Here the Republicans are. This is what happens. All of this can go swing back the other way when Democrats get in power in any of these places. That's the thing that concerns me. My focus, when I hear President Trump talk about mail-in ballots, when I hear Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch pick up Congressman Mike Boss's lawsuit in the state of Illinois because they take ballots that are not even postmarked for 14 days past Election Day and say, maybe that's not constitutional. When I see the push for voter ID, federal voter ID, when I see that, I think there's the huge win. That's the long-term win. And honestly, if Texas ends up getting 5 Republicans out of this, if California doesn't, if California has success, but then Missouri jumps in the game, Indiana can jump in the game, Illinois, we only have 3 seats and you can't give all the seats to Democrats. So maybe you redistrict it once again and it goes down to 2. But you can't win this long-term game. And if the number one thing to stop California in its tracks is for Missouri to get in the game.
Yeah.
Say, if you want to do this, there is a lot more room for Republicans to play by your rules, Democrats, across the states. To win the way you have played dirty, there is more room for Republican game if everybody jumps into that than there is Democrat.
That's exactly why Missouri needs to do this. Because you're saying, oh, okay, you're going to put your cards down. Remember, though, we have more cards than you. And that's exactly the message. It's 1 seat. I get it. You think it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's not just the 1 seat. It's the big message that you started playing this game, and now we're going to play this game by your rules. All of us are going to do it. Not just the deep blue areas. All of us are going to do it.
We're asking on your YouTube live chat poll. Go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Find our live broadcast and vote in this poll. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map, yes or no? And if you want, 2 days in a row, I'll open the phones. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. I don't care if you're from Missouri or somewhere else, because as an Illinoisan, I am super for it, honestly, at this point. Let us know if you think that Missouri should redraw their maps. 314-241-9797. Give us a call. Join the show. We'll be right back. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com. Matt Hayes, the owner, very experienced, a long time doing this type of work. And Home Shield Foundation Repair can come to your home and make you feel comfortable about whatever the solution is that you guys reach together. He's going to make you feel comfortable with what they do, which is polyjacking. It is a polyurethane foam. They inject it underneath the uneven concrete and level it out. It is incredibly aesthetically comforting to me to watch these videos where concrete gets level. Why is that so weird? I don't know. I like it. It makes me feel like it's a completion of something. Well, how about if that's at your house and that area that you're always stubbing your toe on when you're walking around your pool? Not anymore, because it's level once again. Those problems often get worse over time. And if you have a situation at home or at your business where you need that concrete leveling process to unfold, it should be with Home Shield Foundation Repair and Matt Hayes. 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. Online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpracticed your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's a national issue and it's local. You can have a big say in this process. The YouTube live chat poll is where you can vote on it right now. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Yes or no? Let us know what you think. 136. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
From the gateway city to the front lines of freedom. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and
314-241-9797. That's the number to call and answer this question for us. Of course, you can do so on the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll and leave a comment if you want to, but you can also give us a call at that phone number and we'll get to some of them right now. Mark comments on the YouTube channel, absolutely, eye for an eye. Amy says, maybe I just don't understand, but shouldn't districts be based on population more than political party? I think that every House district is supposed to represent between 720,000 people and about 760,000 people. So population, yes. Let's see here. WT says, the Republicans modifying the congressional districts bothers me because the Democratic Party will be justified in doing the same thing if they get in power. Well, I think that the response there to that question is it's the same point, but it's just shifted back a bit. The Democrats already did it, so the Republicans are now justified to do it. And then wash, rinse, repeat. But if the Democrats are always going to do it, and you and I both know that the Democrats are always going to take the opportunity to do it, if the Republicans have the opportunity to do it, are we all like pearl clutching because, oh, gosh, can you see what they're doing?
If he's also talking about at the state level, you're talking about full legislatures flipping to the other party, which doesn't happen a lot in deep blue or red areas. So I don't think that's really a huge concern.
314-241-9797. I'll get to some of these phone calls here. Chad, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. Do you want to see Missouri redraw its congressional map?
Yes, of course. As long as the other side is doing it. I think if the Republicans throughout the nation did that, then they probably would hold the Congress for the next probably 15 or 20 years. Because it's going to take that long for the Democrats to change the way that they do things. My own personal opinion is that they should redraw congressional maps based on the percentage of the presidential vote or something like that. We do it every 4 years. Example, I think Trump got, 40% of California vote?
40% Illinois, 44%, I believe.
So then they should draw the congressional maps based on that percentage. So she should have got they should have 40% of the seats, to me. And the last thing is that the dangerous slope that the Democrats went down is when their policies got so extreme that they have to side with foreigners to get as many foreign-born populations into the country as possible. I think it's a dangerous thing because now you got Madani and that guy Fatah in
Socialists.
In Minnesota. So all these things are polarizing the country. And, I just think the Republicans are more on the common sense side of things and not allowing foreign actors to get involved in our politics, which is crazy. I can go on all day about that stuff. Even with the fact of the guy with the truck. Why are we allowing people to get on these roads and they can't speak English? That should be a federal penalty for anybody who gives anybody driver's license or commercial license, anything that's behind a vehicle, and you can't even read or speak English. That's insane. People are getting killed.
Chad, thank you.
So that's my point. I think we should do that. We should draw it up.
I think it's great points, Chad, and I thank you for listening. I thank you for calling. I mean, we haven't talked a lot about that driver in Florida who got his CDL in California. He killed 3 people, and he can't read road signs. He doesn't speak English, and he was driving. It's terrifying stuff. You know why I haven't talked about it yet? Because it freaks the hell out of me. Because my 15-year-old son is a few months away from getting his license. That stuff scares me. I'm already going to be a mess when my son leaves the house for the first time in a car, and I just pray to Jesus in heaven that he sends his angels along with him. What are we doing? So much lack of common sense. Chad is for it. Philip, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you. What do you think? Should Missouri redraw its congressional maps?
Is this for me?
Yeah, Philip, you're up.
Well, thank you very much, Annie. Like you, I live in Illinois, so I know what it's like to be squashed. Missouri should do it, but this is a bigger issue. There are only about 12 red states, and all of them have already, there are only about 12 blue states, and all of them have already been gerrymandered. There's nothing much more for them to harvest. We've got 38 states. We haven't done it much in the past. We should do it. Just swamp them.
Philip, I appreciate that. I mean, there are a lot of very good detail factoid points that you can give, but then Philip just said it.
I know. I thought the same thing.
Philip just went straight to the heart. He's like, everybody here knows what we're talking about. Swamp them.
That's exactly what it is, Philip. Thank you. Thank you very much. We can talk numbers all day, but ultimately that's the truth.
We got 2 Johns here. I'm going to get to both of them. John number 1, you guys are just going to have to guess if I'm talking to you or not. Thanks for calling the show. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? What do you think?
I'm thinking that they should 100% redraw the map. I mean, at this point, as I said, I just find it ridiculous that liberals or leftists enjoy representation unless it's from a conservative-based view. That's the part that's just going to drive me up the wall. It's what's good for thee, but not for me. Or you can tinkle on my face, just don't tell me it's raining. It's something just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. The hypocrisy is nauseating, and we've been nauseous for a really long time. Certainly. All right, John number 1, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. Let's get to John number 2 on the Annie Fry Show. What do you think? Should Missouri redraw its congressional map?
Oh, definitely, Annie. And I was in the legislature and still am and voted for it back in 2022. There's a state representative, John Simmons from Washington. And there was a little bit of history of why it wasn't done back then based on personalities and who was running for certain seats potentially based on those maps. But what President Trump has shown, his leadership, we really needed leadership in the state in 2022 to push that 7-1 map. We didn't have it as much as I'd like to. And obviously President Trump has shown once again that his leadership is moving the Republicans and the conservatives in the right direction.
Do you feel like this 7-1 map, is it going to be, if they decide to go forward with this, is this smooth sailing? Boom, it's done?
The Senate's always going to be the issue because we'll definitely pass it out of the House, but the Senate, because of their filibuster position, we've got to make sure that all Republicans are on board in the Senate. And I'm hearing that likely they may need to go first and get their ducks in a row, and then whatever version they produce comes over to the House because it should be a little bit easier lift in the House like a lot of legislation is.
You want to name some names of some senators who wouldn't be on board from that? We'd love to hear them.
Not necessarily, but I just know there's a lot of.
I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, there's a lot of legislators that are leaving after this next session. They're seniors, and so they may not have a future, political. They've already done their politics career, and so may just be, more in tune to whatever their thoughts are rather than trying to pull a party line. I think it's going to get done. I think there's a lot of, pressure behind the scenes from the governor's office, from Trump, even from our leadership in D.C., and I'm not privy to those conversations. I'm not in leadership. I'm not on any of those committees. I'm on elections committee, but not any potential redistricting committee. But I think the slow motion is going to that. And you and Ryan and all the callers in have hit on great points, exactly what the ramifications are and why we should be doing it. You just need the will. 3 years ago, we didn't have the will. Some of us had the will, but I think with President Trump's leadership, and it's a smart move because it can really make a lot of changes for the next couple of decades. And one last thing I want to mention, the last time we had redistricting was obviously 2010 census in 2012. Well, who was president back then? President Barack Obama. You can't tell me that he didn't tell his state legislators and his state governors in those blue states to gerrymander the heck out of those maps, which is what we've got as we look back at those maps. And so that's why they got that then. Just made it even more so, 4 years ago when they did it again. And so we're just basically playing on their field again.
Real quick, how fast could this thing be turned around in Missouri? Once Texas Democrats showed up, that got done real fast. How fast could Missouri see this taken up and passed?
It can be done in a day or two if need be.
Woo. Man, you guys work fast. All right.
It'll likely take 1 or 2 weeks, but you could suspend certain rules and have things happen quicker. But I think it'll probably be a week or two. The Senate goes first, and maybe the following week the House comes back if it's called during the special session. Or you may have heard from other people, they may be what they call a concurrent session with our veto session in early September. And so committees still have to meet. They usually have to lay over a bill for 24 hours, but we can suspend those rules to have it happen sooner. But if you follow those rules, 1 week the Senate takes a turn, then the following week everything matches up. The House committee does their thing, and then they bring us in for a House vote. And that vote literally could take under an hour.
Just to be clear, this is John
Simmons from District 109.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I gave you the proper credit here. Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening. And just text me those names.
Yeah.
Take care.
Private message.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
There you go.
Give me the scoop. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Tell you what, the big difference, obviously you got Donald Trump, who's just out there swinging golf clubs and taking names. But
but you mean figuratively.
Yeah.
And literally.
And literally. I mean, he's a player. But
donate the player.
But we got a new governor in Missouri, and Mike Kehoe is playing to win.
Yeah, he is.
And that is great news.
It is. Illinois sucks.
Yes,
It
that's
makes
bad
me so
news.
mad. Do it for Illinois. We will benefit from that on the whole. All right, quick break. We have Annie, are you awake? Okay, coming
Are you
up.
awake?
Annie, are you awake? That could work.
Annie, are you sleeping?
We can make that work.
And
Absolutely.
she didn't say anything, so...
YouTube live chat poll if you want to vote and comment rather than call in. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Yes or no? Thank you to everyone who did give us a call. Joe said he's torn. I said yes because the other side does skeevy things to win. I guess we have to be slimy as well. Yep. I guess we do. Go vote. Let us know what you think. We'll be right back.
97.1 FM Talk is proud to support the Make Missouri Pro-Life Again banquet. Mark Cox here. Join me Monday, September 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center with special guest speaker Laura Trump. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis, and they get paid weekly. Available to eligible Medicaid members in St. Louis. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid. Freedom Care has over 7,000 five-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want to receive great care from a loved one, go to freedomcare.com or for faster service, call 314-597-1749. 314-597-1749. That's 314-597-1749.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
How'd you feel about the AI yesterday, Ryan?
I didn't really feel strongly that it represented me that well. I thought some of them had me looking a little chubby. And you?
Is that the AI?
What are you asking right now?
I don't know.
You making a joke? Go ahead.
You're not chubby.
Go ahead.
No,
That's fine.
There's nothing to
You're
say.
right, I'm not, but
No, you're very svelte.
Super
muscular, especially for 5'4".
That's ridiculous. I was at my doctor's office yesterday or the day before, and they're like, "How tall are you?" And it was like I was having flashbacks to this show.
That's terrible.
I said,
you weren't.
I was.
Are you like 6'3"?
No. Listen to what
Just
happened.
look at me.
Listen to what happened. I kid you not.
Did
This
you
is
stick
real.
your chin up in the air?
No, I did not do that. I said 5'9", and she goes, "Oh." And I said, wait a minute. I'm not kidding. I said, "Why did you have that reaction just now when I said 5'9"?
Yeah.
Because I always say 5'9.5". And she goes, "Oh, because that's pretty tall." And I'm like, "Can I quote you, ma'am?" And she said, "I don't know what that means." Because she didn't know I was on the radio.
Do you think she'd tell somebody who was 5'11"? Well, that's pretty tall.
Yeah, I think she would.
I don't think she would.
I think she would.
I think she was trying to make you feel good.
I don't. Because there was no reason.
You said you were 5'9", and she did what?
She went, "Oh." And I was like, "What? What does that mean?" She goes,
I think you read the situation differently than it was implied. But I don't want to take it away from you.
But I was taller. No. Because I asked, and she said, I said, "Why did you react that way?" I wanted to know. I genuinely wanted to know. And she said,
"Did you say it like this? 5'9"?
No. I said 5'9". And she was, "Whoa," and she fanned herself. No, she genuine. I'm not kidding. She said,
"How old was this woman? 50s?
50.
I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly
50.
what she was doing."
And she said, I said, "Why did you react that way?" And she goes, "Well, because I'm 5'2". And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But still, she's like,
so
well,
you were tall to a 5'2"
She
lady.
said, I would like to be 5'9". And I'm like, well, yes, but do you think that that's tall?
You said that?
Yeah. And she goes, yeah.
Did
and
you
I'm
say?
like, I need to quote you.
Did she say for a girl?
No, she did not say that. But I knew that you would say that. So I kept asking questions, trying to get her to say something.
Well, I'm 5'8", and 5'7" is about the height in women's pants, where it's 5'7", 5'8", where regular length pants go up to about 5'7" or 5'8", and long pants start at 5'7" or 5'8". So I traditionally have to buy, my pant size, people, is 12 long. So I traditionally have to buy longs. If I buy regulars, they fit and look nice the first time I wear them. But after they get laundered and I don't dry them, they are just a hair too short.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 5'8" is where women are considered tall, at least in the industry. Apparently in your medical office, 5'9" is medically tall.
Impressively
to
tall.
the 5'2" nurse.
I didn't know how tall she was because I was sitting down. She asked me. And so I had to go through that series of questions.
Frank says 5'9" is a bit tall for a girl and about average for a dude.
I would agree with that.
You are about average.
I would agree. That's why I need to point out that when Annie makes these jokes, she's just constantly doing something we in the industry call lying. She just likes lying a lot.
I would never.
Yes, you just did it in this segment. It is verifiably false.
Are people going to believe you, or are they going to believe me?
They're going to believe you, and that's what drives me crazy. Your name's on the show. I got to fight hard.
Well, inflation has hit all of us, and 5'6" can be 5'9" if you need it to be.
I don't need to wear any
Whips.
sort of special jeans. I'm not trying to claim that I'm tall. I'm just not. I'm like the average, literally the average height.
I got you to argue how average you are.
I wear just an average Levi bulge.
You know-
That's the name of the brand.
What's average?
It's not. I'm not wearing a long style. Just wearing like you are. I didn't know. Dang it. We were so close to the end of this segment too. We could have just kind of rode that out. Here we are. Why did that have to happen?
It's your story, bro. You brought it up.
And music.
You
Who are we
brought it
listening
up.
to here, Brad?
This is the Johnson Brothers.
Oh,
It's called
the
Secret
Johnson
Weapon.
Brothers, Secret Weapon.
It's an average weapon.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
TheDiamondShop.net. Go to the website and learn all about this family-owned business. 1910. How many businesses have been around St. Louis since 1910? Well, the Diamond Shop has. They're in Clayton, and I really encourage you to go, like, if you kind of have a thought in your head, like, I'm kind of looking at a piece of jewelry, maybe an anniversary coming up. Of course, pop in the question. You're definitely going to want to be with a quality jeweler that you can trust. But right now, they have 40% off all diamond studs through August 30th. So get in there. This is a timeless and perfect gift always. Let me just speak on behalf of women. I mean, as long as they have their ears pierced, I guess. If you're looking for something that is going to be beloved by everybody, every female who loves jewelry, get her a pair of classic diamond studs. And get them from the Diamond Shop because you're going to save 40% off. You're going to get a VIP special gift as well with purchase free travel jewelry box with a $200 purchase. Find them in Clayton or online at thediamondshop.net.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Taking law and order on the road. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Vice President J.D. Vance in the Atlanta suburb of Peachtree City.
I bet that as great as Atlanta is, and as beautiful of an American city as it is, there are places in Atlanta where you wouldn't take your family today. Is that correct?
This a day after he was heckled while visiting National Guard members who are part of a crime crackdown in Washington, D.C.
We got to take America's streets back for the American people, and that's what the President of the United States is doing every single day.
President Trump plans to go on patrol in D.C. tonight with federal law enforcement and the military. City leaders have argued crime was already declining in Washington, using stats the Trump administration is investigating. The president's legal fight with New York's Attorney General reaches new heights after an appeals court ruling tossing out the penalty in a civil fraud case as excessive. He had been ordered to pay more than $500 million.
President Trump responded on Truth Social to the court's decision today, writing, quote, "I greatly respect the fact that the court had the courage to throw out this unlawful and disgraceful decision that was hurting business all throughout New York State. Others were afraid to do business there." He also went on to call Letitia James a corrupt and incompetent attorney general who only brought this case in order to hurt me politically.
Fox's Brian Yennis. However, a majority of the panel also upholding last year's finding that the president, his two oldest sons, and the Trump organization were liable for business fraud. James plans to appeal today's ruling on the penalty. A state of emergency in New Jersey in preparation for indirect impacts from Hurricane Aaron. Governor Phil Murphy warning of flash flooding, high winds, and dangerous surf as that storm continues to churn off the east coast of the U.S. with a tropical storm warning that includes North Carolina up to Virginia and parts of Bermuda. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our summer weather certainly taking a little bit of a vacation, and we will take it. And this cool flow from the northwest gets stronger for the second half of the weekend. Mostly sunny this afternoon, 85 degrees, clear skies tonight. What a great evening. 67 for the low. Friday and Saturday sunny, 89 each day. Sunday sunny, and a high of 83, 50 Sunday night. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Byrne.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If you need a new air conditioner installed this summer, call a company you can trust to install your AC properly. That will get your home cool and comfortable fast. For a free estimate on a new air conditioner, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For the sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being with us. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map, yes or no? Let us know what you think. Annie Fry YouTube channel, go vote. This effort that the president is going to participate in, he's going to police the streets of D.C. with whatever the patrol group is that's out there right now. What do you think about that?
It's going to be like an episode of Cops, but with Trump. I mean, I hope they video it, because that is must-see TV. Him sitting in the back of a car.
They're not going out with the president of the United States and not capitalizing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, this is going to be great. He's obviously trying to prove a point. It's going to be
What's the point?
That things have changed.
That it's safe.
Yeah, that he can go out there. It's going to be a tough point to make, because they'll just say, well, yeah, but you think he doesn't have secret security around him, which is true. But he's a publicity machine. He knows how to draw attention to any issue and make people care about it, and make people hate him for it. If they're obsessed with him, they're just going to fight him, and he's going to go with that too. It's all press.
We talked about this yesterday a bit, but it's the genius of Donald Trump's efforts in the second term are that it's first and foremost, and most importantly, he has the right policy.
Yes.
But he's picking to act on the policies that make the other side look so incredibly dumb when they go to advocate against Donald Trump.
Nobody doesn't want that. Nobody wants to be unsafe. It's about what policies win elections and what level of accountability there is for those policies. I mean, it's easy to say, I want to be safe when I walk down the street. Okay, how? If the street is unsafe, how do you make it safe?
Well, you don't defund your police. That nearly led to the death of my daughter in my own house. They defunded the police.
Defunding the police is three of the stupidest words ever said by Democrats in history. That was stupid. They know it was stupid. You will not find, anybody wanting to defend that idea. They will immediately rationalize it and run away. So fine, you win the argument. Defund the police was stupid.
Thank you.
Benny Johnson having a conversation with Chris Cuomo, and if you're watching with us, I'd just like for you to describe Chris Cuomo's face right now after he said you won the argument. Defunding the police was stupid.
I would say annoyed,
defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't agree with Cuomo though that you can't find anybody who would defend that position. Still, I think there are still plenty of people in the Democrat Party who would defend the defund the police. Cori Bush is probably a huge supporter of that. And it looks like she was trying to, I don't know. I feel like it's obvious that she would have been part of the instigation to Wesley Bell's town hall that he just had, where there were people who were there who were shouting down the town hall. Golly. Elliot Davis, you paid for it guy. Very, very, very strong and I think important presence in St. Louis, posted his support for Wesley Bell on Facebook in a Facebook post. And Elliot Davis pointed out that he noticed in St. Louis, where people are showing up to these meetings to find out if they're getting the coverage and the help that they need in the wake of this tornado, Wesley Bell has been working hard to make sure that happens in a bipartisan way. Credit to Wesley Bell for that. Elliot Davis called out the people who came to this town hall to shout down Wesley Bell and be like, this is not productive. And he said he essentially said he couldn't help but notice the people who were protesting did not look like the people in North City who needed the assistance.
Oh, interesting.
And then they show the picture, and it's a bunch of white women. What is the deal? Like, why is it that, I mean, who's the standard issue protester that you see right now? They're people who are of retirement age, so they got time. They're generally females. And their advocacy is, to me, it's kind of all over the place. It kind of is all summed up in this Free Palestine thing. But Free Palestine is the current Ukraine flag, is the current BLM flag, was the current LGBTQ plus A, whatever, blah, 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 LMNOP, as Greg Gutfeld says. It's that current flag. It's just the current movement. It's the current resist movement. And Elliot Davis is out there saying, what are you doing here? And Wesley Bell, who's a Democrat, and he's representing St. Louis City, so of course he's a Democrat. Fox News accused him of being a moderate Democrat. I wonder how he feels about that. How Wesley Bell did not appreciate these people coming to his town hall to scream about an issue that Wesley Bell really can't fix himself. Free Palestine? Let's go to Congressional District number 1 in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. Should we free Palestine or not? It's a causing a ruckus for the sake of causing a ruckus to get attention. It's what children do when they throw tantrums. Wesley Bell's trying to solve problems in his district as he sees fit. He's the duly elected official congressman in this area, so he's trying to, as they are on recess, be in his district and represent the needs of the district as those people who voted for him and those who didn't see fit. And why is it always the, it's not even middle-aged, it's like kind of boomer-aged white woman who are leading these charges?
I mean, jumping into psychology here, I think people are looking for meaning. I think they're trying to find something that satisfies them. And they were part of a generation, too, if you're talking about the boomers, who, this is maybe the hippie generation, the higher end of that they were part of real, meaningful protests. You don't have to agree with them, but there was some substance behind some of those like Vietnam and things. People were like, why are we in Vietnam, you know? Whether you agree with the protest or not, that was the generation that did that. And it's like they're trying to find that again and say, yeah, but we never stopped. You know, we are the people that are going to save America in their eyes. I genuinely believe they're thinking they're doing that. But their ideas just don't hold up. And I'm really open to hearing those ideas. I like debate. I like hearing good debate. But though that class of people in America, they are not good at defending those ideas.
It's not always fair to be like, okay, let's go to Twitter and see what boomer women are saying today. They don't represent everybody. But there is a significant consistency to the protests that take place across the country. The number one rule is that you have to, with every fiber of your being, hate Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And then the rest is kind of just like details.
Yeah, just kind of filling in the blanks.
The point is to resist Trump. And, you know, in the same vein, we're seeing people in Chicago. We're seeing people, I saw Baltimore. I think I saw somebody in New Orleans posting videos. They're like, hey, Trump, can you send some of that law and order over here? We'd love to have it. And these are people generally of color who are coming from areas that are known high crime places, and they would like to live in their homes and not have to fear crime. But then these boomer-aged white women show up and take over the voice of the people who are in these communities who probably do have a little bit of a beef with the system. I, as a white woman who is not a boomer, I am a millennial white female, but I find it odd as an observer that these white women keep showing up to speak in the place of and for all of these groups that they deem to be marginalized and victimized. When I see people, and I'm on Facebook usually when I see this, so maybe it's the platform. But when I see people on Facebook specifically having emotional breakdowns really just rooted in politics, it's always the same demo. I kind of feel bad for him. Because if Donald Trump has the success in the future that he's currently having right now, what he's on pace to do to put the permanent thumbprint of America First on our country's history. We're always one generation away from losing it. But I think, and there's no amount of words that I could say to sum up the gratitude that I have for Donald Trump, that I think he gave my kids a real understanding of what America is and what America can be. And I see the generation that is growing up right now, and I think, oh, I think the kids are going to be all right. If this keeps up, I think the kids are going to be all right. And I don't understand why, in many of those cases, grandma is not all right. And the reason why I don't want to dunk on them, like I could have had a montage here because I've seen plenty of them, of these just very, very unstable protesters spewing things that are so off the mark and so completely emotionally driven. I don't know what they're afraid of. And to me, it feels like somebody truly deceived them along the way into thinking that something is actually, in fact, real. That's not. They believe in the boogeyman in the closet, and they're not going to open the door to realize there's nothing there. But boy, gosh, the relief. As a parent, to know in this short amount of time the direction that we were headed before Donald Trump won re-election, and now to understand the direction, the course correction that has taken place because this country chose Donald Trump in every way possible in this last election, it is so comforting to know that my kids are in a position to benefit from that, because I didn't feel that way when we were careening into socialism. Democrat socialism, which is a wink to communism.
For a long time, it felt like we were managing decline.
For Obama. I mean, and then you could go back and say maybe even September 11th. Mm-hmm. I mean, September 11th changed the course of where we were going. Before September 11th, we had Republican presidents and we had Democrat presidents, and we had the Reagans who had success, and we had the Clinton who had success. we had an understanding that, you know, at the other side of the aisle, they can have success too, and I can still benefit from that. But that's when you have Bill Clinton working with Newt Gingrich on behalf of the American people. And, you know, Bill Clinton wasn't really a big fan of crime. There are a lot of things that Bill Clinton did that weren't the worst thing in the world, and Republicans can acknowledge that. I still like George W. Bush. I know a lot of you out there don't. To each his own. But when I'm 17 years old and the planes hit the tower and the towers come crumbling down and we become a nation that is highly divided over our conflict that we're participating in to try to avenge something that we don't understand, and Barack Obama comes in with this beautiful, flowery puppies and sunshine promise to you that we can make a change. And you're like, oh, we definitely need a change. I'll go with change. And we can give you hope. And Barack Obama makes that promise to you, and he's young and he's fresh to the political scene, and it just looks real good. And from then on, it was like, what are we doing? It just didn't feel good. And it feels good now. It feels genuinely good, like future good. Not like, did we win a political battle today? It feels long-term good. I pray to God that it continues. All right. Ethan, sports and local next on the Annie Fry Show. And then Trisha's coming in for Annie, Are You Okay? So stick around. We got it all right here on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis. Mortgage, the bagel loan. It's a mortgage that you get that doesn't cost you anything to close. No closing costs. They're not there. You go through the mortgage process. You're buying a new home. You get approved for that low rate. You lock it in. Once the offer is accepted on the process, he can close in like 12 days. I know it's less than 2 weeks. And he also is going to charge you nothing to go through that process. There's no closing costs involved in it. So you're going to get the great low rate that you can qualify for, whatever rates are at the given time. And you're going to get an incredibly quick close, which is going to make you a more attractive buyer. And you're not going to pay any closing costs, which is a lot of money, thousands potentially, back in your pocket. It's a no-brainer. The bagel loan is only available with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. Here's what you can do. Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440. Call 314-324-4440 or send Stewie a text. Tell him Annie said hi and say, tell me about this bagel loan. How can you help? You can Google the bagel loan to find out more information. NMLS number 226715.
If it's time for new windows, there's only one place to call. That is Window World. Mark Cox here. Call my friends at Window World at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate today. If you have any questions, they'll be glad to send someone out to explain all of it to you. You can even schedule right online at windowworldstl.com. You know, there's a lot of high-interest financing out there, but here's what Window World's doing. Right now, they're offering 18 up to 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. You can't beat that. You also get a lifetime warranty that covers all of the parts, the glass breakage, and labor. Who else stands behind their product like that? Over half the appointments Window World will set this year are from previous customers or referrals from those customers. That is a testimony to their customer service, their quality, and their commitment to creating loyal customers. That's what you get with Window World. Call them at 314-993-1800, windowworldstl.com.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
And now, Ethan delivers the news in falsetto.
Welcome to Ethan Sports and Local.
I thought you were going to say New York. Welcome to New York.
In New York.
It's been waiting for you.
I thought it was going to be Ethan does the news in the nude.
I like that. Whoa.
Ooh, there's one for tomorrow.
No.
For the YouTube live stream on a Friday.
Guys, this is the worst time for this to happen.
Why?
My microphone fell off of the handle, so I'm going to have to hold it the entire segment.
You can come over here.
It's the beginning of the segment, too.
The screw fell on the floor. No,
take
I
Ryan's
can
spot?
do this. I
work that mic.
I can do this. Okay.
Ooh, don't work it like that.
You're working a little too hard there, buddy.
The nude segment is tomorrow.
well, then get through today.
Sports and local.
Okay. Earlier, this is last week, on Friday, the Missouri Gaming Commission awarded sports wagering licenses to DraftKings and Circa Hospitality as the state is beginning to move towards launching legalized sports betting in December. So DraftKings, Circa Hospitality, and FanDuel all competed for the 2 available spots.
Who in here bets on sports?
I don't. I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame one day.
I would
bet
on it.
I'm about ready to bet on sports.
What kind of Hall of Fame?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes.
His own Hall of Fame.
Bowling.
It's in his house. It's the hall.
Because it's here. Or used to be. Is this
So,
still in St. Louis?
Ethan, go inside.
Have you ever voted or have you ever bet on sports?
Yes. I don't do it regularly, but, I went out to Vegas a couple years ago and put down a couple of, season-long ones. And on a rare occasion, it's a fun little thing, but I wouldn't say that it is a common weekly thing.
I get asked to endorse sports betting places, and I'm like, no. The word I think I would probably love sports betting. Not going to do it.
I will say, I imagine it's probably something that can be really dangerous to get addicted to, especially if you're already watching sports regardless, and you're like, oh man,
it's like
put down a
fantasy
couple
sports.
of bucks and it adds a little bit of edge to it.
Once you participate in a fantasy football league, you don't have to know anything about the NFL, and all of a sudden you're looking for tackles and sacks and all that stuff, and you're like, you don't cheer for the team you used to cheer for anymore. It's just, it can make it a whole lot more fun for you, but then you tie in money. It could be dangerous.
100%. In fact, my fantasy football draft is on Friday night, and we got all fancied up for it. We wear our suits and our jackets to the draft, and I got to say, my outfit this year.
You wear a suit to your draft fantasy party?
Absolutely. And this year's outfit, Annie, is taking it up a whole new level. Actually, I sent a picture of it to Brad last night.
Incoming Scooter comment about your athleisure at work. Go on.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Scooter.
Or Brad comment. Now that I think about it, he's really an Ethan
yeah,
hater
Brad's
in the
the
clothing
most
department.
judgmental
I've
one
grown
in this
to like
place.
it.
Liar.
Endearing.
The International
Sounded painful to
Bowling
get out.
Hall of Fame
Here we go.
was in St. Louis from 1993 to 2010, and then it relocated to Texas.
The chess one is.
Is it still here?
Uh-huh. It's got that big old chess
I
piece.
wish they would have called it the International Bowling Society so that you could call it the IBS. But there's not. It's the IBF.
I'm over you.
Ethan?
The license allows companies to operate online sportsbooks in Missouri without partnering with a casino or professional sports team, and it also allows Missourians to place bets on their phones once wagering goes live. DraftKings has long backed Missouri's push to legalize sports gambling, contributing $43 million along with FanDuel to campaign in support of Amendment 2, which passed in the election season of 2024. So Circa Hospitality and DraftKings will be the two companies that will be you'll be able to bet through here in Missouri starting in December.
Hooray!
Yay!
In other
That's big news for somebody.
Yeah.
Brad's taking pictures of me, and yes, that is huge news. That's going to add a lot of money, I have to imagine, to the market. So I think there will be some good things that'll come out of it, as long as it's done in discipline. In other sports and local news, U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt yesterday announced some very historic FBI investments into the city of St. Louis, with the goal being to combat violent crime. He was quoted saying, "Today marks the beginning of a new era of federal-state partnership to promote law and order in St. Louis. This permanent investment in St. Louis by the FBI will be coupled with increased multilateral joint agency operations, increasing overall crime-fighting capacity, and building upon the important work being done on the state level to restore public safety." And then he goes on and thanks Kash Patel, some other people, for their investment into St. Louis and cleaning up the streets and making St. Louis a safer city.
It's exciting. Really exciting.
That is good. Especially, I thought it was going to be single lateral, but it's multi. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for your contribution. According to Senator Schmidt, the partnership will result in a permanent increase in staffing in St. Louis by the FBI and is the first step in the Trump administration's continued crackdown on crime. Also noted that, like I just said, the Trump administration was a huge reason as to why this was able to happen. Makes you wonder if 2024 would have gone in a different direction, if we would be talking about these same kinds of things and cleaning up crime in the streets, and not just St. Louis, but in multiple cities.
It does make you wonder.
Jasmine Crockett's losing her district, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's going to be wild.
Yeah.
What if she tries to come back to Missouri?
And run in Missouri 1.
It's going to be a crowded place. Cori Bush, Jasmine Crockett. Wesley Bell will win that for sure.
In other sports and local, this is also an exciting one. Anheuser-Busch is investing $15 million into the St. Louis Brewery. The money will go towards upgrades to the brewery's electrical system and production equipment, plus supply chain infrastructure, as well as some new trucks, trailers, and railroad crossings. Overall, I think I saw a $300 million investment into this kind of stuff worldwide for Anheuser-Busch, and it's nice to see that St. Louis is going to get some of that as well.
Do you ever go on a brewery tour?
Yes, but I haven't done it in a while here. So I went and did Coors last year because we went to Denver for my guys' trip. And this year we're going to Milwaukee, so we're thinking, well, I might as well do Miller. But I haven't done the St. Louis one for probably a decade or more.
Yeah, we went for it was like my husband's birthday, but I don't think we were married yet. That's how long it's been.
Do you remember seeing Clydesdales and stuff?
I think so. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're still there, though.
I've heard that there's parts of it that aren't
they
on
can
that
come
tour
and
anymore.
go depending on the situation.
Most of them stay at Grant's Farm,
Yeah.
and then they usually have one there at a time. Like we've gone a couple of times in the last few years for the brewery lights, which are awesome. Highly recommend.
If you're gonna take a tour, do it then.
Total Polar Express North Pole vibes. That's the vibe that I get. Just the brick everywhere, the lights outlining the buildings, super cool. But they always have one of the Clydesdales there during that time, and the line is always super long.
why
So I would
everyone's
say,
there.
like, if you want to go and see the Clydesdales, just go to Grant's Farm. But still, regardless, they have them there as well as a bunch of other things.
Cool. That's a wrap. Or you got one
That's
more?
another place that I need to go again. Grant's Farm.
Take your kids.
We pre-COVID, we went there every year, and there's a bunch of pictures with us, the kids getting older. We look the same, amazingly. And but then COVID hit. We haven't done it since. And Grant's Farm is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I could do one more here real quick.
All right.
An artificial intelligence firm will soon be residing in the former building of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch,
Distress.
on Tucker and Cole Street. Scale AI.
We're not even that show.
I know. Scale AI was founded in 2016, and its headquarters are in San Francisco. And according to the firm, the lab will serve to focus on the government's geospatial data needs. Scale AI's new location, set to open in the upcoming months, will be just 2 miles away from the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency campus.
Okay.
What is in the building now, the Post-Dispatch building? Are they still there?
I have no idea.
I
have
don't
zero
either.
idea.
I did not know that they were not operating in that same downtown building.
I have
Apparently
to
they're not.
imagine probably a lot of it's online now.
Yeah, maybe they're there.
As
and
far
it's
as
just
the
a
work that's
smaller
being
footprint.
done,
Do you know anybody who gets the paper? Physically gets the paper?
Not anymore.
What's the point of it? I mean, it's now printed in Colombia. It everything is dated by
South
the time
America?
that it comes to.
Colombia.
No, Ryan. bad, Ryan and Annie. Columbia, Missouri.
Okay, Daddy. Do this in falsetto like you were told.
Yeah.
You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
You don't have to sing it.
We should
Can we go to break?
Yes, we should have.
Thank you.
Already. Ethan, sports and local in falsetto.
Fix the mic now. My
Sort
goodness.
of it. Yeah, all right. Annie, are you okay? In studio with Trisha. Next, don't go away.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt. I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them. What? Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean? I guess. Their gloves come off when they fight for you. Okay. I'm talking a settlement slap shot. Shouldn't we be talking about the game? Yeah, Dan. Morgan & Morgan.
Proud partner of the St. Louis Blues. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
There's been a lot of talk about tariffs, how it's going to do this and it's going to destroy the economy, prices are going to go up. Depending where you get your news from or your information from, it's going to make everything unaffordable and so on and so forth. Tariffs have absolutely zero effect on the heating and cooling equipment that we purchase. So don't be misled and fooled that if you're told that you have to buy something now because of tariffs, call me. That's the nicest thing I can say. Call me for a second opinion. Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. There's only one. If you do not dial this number, it will be the wrong number. It is area code 314-293-2600. Again, easiest number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or on the computer, bartinman.com. Remember, 0% financing is available for most up to 60 months. Fantastic.
Did you know that 60% of adults over 20 avoid going to the dentist due to deep fear of dental treatment? Knowing that many of our chronic health problems can be directly related to the harmful bacteria in our mouth, not going to the dentist can be very dangerous. Hi, this is Dr. Michael White. I've been helping the dental anxiety patient for over 20 years with anxiety-free sedation. This is very effective and very affordable. Call my office at 314-270-8552. That's 314-270-8552.
YouTube live chat poll. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Yes or no? I am looking forward to seeing the results of this because I think that you're going to be on the right side of history. Dang it, the bell won't ring. The bell won't ring. That was the perfect moment. 2:33, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Born in the Midwest, built on common sense. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis conservative.
We're on top of the world. We're on top of the world now, darling, so don't let go. Can I call you mine?
In my mind, this is what's always happening in Ryan's brain everywhere he goes.
It's not necessarily this exact thing,
It would
but
explain
it is.
the way you like walk/frolic around the office.
There's something like that going on. Usually there's a ukulele.
A little extra bop.
Yep.
Mad Scientist answered the poll question, which you just teed up here. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Said, I voted yes today. I think if every red state were to redraw the districts, we, the righteous leaders of stable government, could pick up more delicate delegates, I guess, than the evil, corrupt left. Take that, demos.
Demos.
Glad I read that one. How about some Annie? Are you okay?
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Annie and crew. A Connecticut man got stuck inside a tube slide at an elementary school playground. The unidentified 40-year-old was going down head first when he realized he was stuck. The local
Was
fire
he big?
No, he was pretty
Long?
average size. It was one of those.
Was he tall,
twisty
like
ones?
5'9"?
Need a height, weight.
Oh my gosh, I'd probably get stuck in that so easy.
You would for sure get stuck. He looked almost exactly like you.
Because you look, well, never mind.
What did he look like?
Pretty average.
Describe him.
Beard, often wore a hat.
Was the
didn't
beard
count
two-toned?
keys.
Wow, anybody with a beard and a hat does look
Do you?
exactly like
Who
you.
in here sees? I don't know. What's your question? Sorry.
I was going to ask if you were okay with slides.
I was gonna say, who in here like sees a slide and still thinks, I'd really like to go down that slide.
Yes.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Not really.
I'm over it.
I'm kind of over it too. I hate to say that.
I think
Yeah.
you're over it just recently in the last day or two.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. You saying I aged?
Like something happened in the past couple of
was
days?
it trauma?
I'm wondering if there is a coincidence between this story occurring and the man having a hat and a beard.
Yeah, he's accusing. You remember going down metal slides and burning the skin off your legs?
Yeah, that
I don't know
was
that they
not
still had
super
that.
fun.
We would, when I was a kid, we had a standard issue red and white playground thing. You know, I'm sure it cost probably like $200 at Kmart or something. But would you wax paper the slides to go faster?
Yep.
The slide was 6 feet long. There was not a lot of faster opportunity.
But we did that.
Wax paper,
Mhm.
and it would make a difference. You know about this?
No.
No,
I
I
got
don't know
nothing.
about it either. It makes me think of Christmas Vacation when they spray the sled down.
Yeah, and it goes
Like,
forever. That was the goal. We weren't thinking it through, but that was the goal. The other thing is that once they started making them out of that kind of plastic that would like be hollow inside, the static electricity, it would like you could charge a community by the time you got down there with, and it would shock
it's
you.
Still a thing. I went down one last night with Bernie, and by the end of it, his hair was standing straight up. It was so cute.
I don't want to do any gravity testing anymore.
That's fair.
I went to a water park with Jensen last year, or earlier this year in April, and we went down a water slide, and I still find water slides to be super fun.
I do too.
But I don't need to go down a non-water slide.
Whenever I see the one at the carnival that's the big one, it's got all the like dips
Yeah.
in it. I still am like, that looks pretty fun, but I'm old enough to
With the
know.
potato sack?
Yeah.
I still do that.
But I'm old enough to know
Those are fun with
that
the
is going to
kids.
cost me $6, and it is
true.
going to take me 40 seconds.
Yes, that's not the dollar investment is not worth
Like, is
it.
even the long steps up to the slide worth it?
Well, that's a good point.
Australian lawyer apologizes for AI-generated errors in murder case.
Say what?
A senior lawyer in Australia has apologized to a judge for filing submissions in a murder case that included fake quotes and non-existent case judgments generated
Yikes.
by artificial intelligence. The defense lawyer took full responsibility for filing incorrect information and submissions in the case of a teenager charged with murder. Annie, are you okay with Australian accents?
Yes, my fave.
What about fake ones?
AI-generated Australian accents?
Did in that specific case, it was the defense that submitted them?
It was the defense.
Little impotent problem over here.
It's all
Anyway.
Ethan. You're pointing at Ethan.
I didn't point.
Is saying that.
I said that, and you immediately responded, Ryan. I'd think about that. You just jumped right in there. Did they say that the defense didn't realize that it was AI? Did they get duped, or did they try to dupe the court?
I think they were sloppy. I think they used AI. I guess they got duped and didn't do their homework, sent it in, and they were like, yeah, our bad.
Ooh.
Yeah. Whoops.
I love a good Australian accent. It's one of the things I think is most attractive about Chris Hemsworth.
Oi, mate.
Yep.
It's almost like Chris Hemsworth is here.
I know.
That's
the chiseled
crazy.
jaw.
So tall.
I thought for a second Chris Hemsworth was here.
That would have been funny if you would have, like, not got it out.
That's a really good joke, Ryan.
And the rippling muscles.
Tired girl makeup is
Ryan,
trending.
you can't do that. Get back here. Did you eat that ice cream sandwich?
He's broken. You broke him, Annie.
He broke himself. I had nothing to do with it. Get it together. You have to get it together.
This show, this segment cannot go on without you.
How long are we going to let him do
I just
that?
think it's so funny whenever anybody ever says a joke and then somebody says the exact same joke.
We can tell. We can tell.
You need to take a walk?
Yes,
He's going to take a walk. This segment is
Seacrest out.
Without you. Come back.
All right, Trisha.
All right, tired girl makeup is trending. The latest makeup trend known as the tired girl
The only
look.
reason I wear makeup is to not look tired.
Word look involves creating faux dark circles under your eyes
Hell
with makeup,
no. What?
giving the appearance of tiredness.
Why?
While some are embracing the trend as a way to normalize exhaustion.
Oh, no.
Others are
No.
skeptical about glamorizing burnout. Annie, are you okay with makeup making you look more tired?
Why? What is the matter with people? No.
Google
I am
it.
not allowing this.
Google it. They are drawing dark circles under their eyes.
To look
tired.
Tired?
Yeah, the same thing we've been fighting
Maybe
against our
if they
entire
get off
adulthood.
of their butts and go do something and spend their time out affecting things and contributing to things, then they'd be like the rest of us who are really freaking tired.
Go get tired.
Wearing makeup just to cover up the dark circles under our eyes. I told you the story of my daughter, my 9-year-old came in, I was taking a shower, glass door. This is just what happens when you have kids. There's no privacy. And she had to ask me a question. And she's like, Mom, you got dark circles, a lot of dark under your eyes, because I had mascara that had come off. I was washing my face. And I washed it off. And I go, is that better? She goes, yeah. Now it's just the normal dark circles. And I was like, what? She goes, it's okay, Mom. It's just because you're tired. This is why I wear makeup.
Did you specify that this was a specific generation? The young generation?
It's
or-
your generation,
It's always
Ethan.
your generation.
I hate my generation.
Just listen,
We
in
suck.
10 years, you'll be making fun of the kids that are, like, crawling in right now.
I'll
Like
still,
the
be, making,
Bernies
I'll
of the
still be
world.
making fun of mine, though.
Maybe this is a genius move. When you're 20, you don't have dark
Ryan's
circles under
back.
your eyes. So you're going, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to normalize dark circles under my eyes so in 10 years I don't have to wear makeup. Maybe it's a 3D chess move.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, you make it popular now.
Go back into the corner.
And then by the time you get there, you're
Then you
like,
grow
still
into
popular.
it.
No, dark circles are never popular. There's nothing nice about
They're
that.
trying to change that. I'm
Isn't
right.
the point of makeup to make you look better, to enhance who you are, and to make you feel better about the way you present yourself to people?
Used to be.
Now it's to project it on your future self.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Okay.
Yep.
Ozempic for dogs could hit the market in the next 3 years.
Ah, those cute little pudgy
Studies
dogs.
suggest that around 60% of dogs and cats in America are overweight.
What are the odds? I
those-
wonder why. It's because their owners are not walking them.
Here, have Mountain Dew. Dog.
Those extra pounds can lead to serious health issues, sky-high vet bills, and fewer years with your furry friend. One biotech firm is teaming up with a medical development firm to make an implant designed to support weight loss for dogs and cats. They're tapping into the same science behind weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. Annie, are you okay with Ozempic for dogs?
Yeah, if it's not going to hurt them. I would
Anybody
do
else?
things to spend more time on this earth with Rosie and Winnie.
Yeah.
I would be more okay with it on dogs than I would be on humans.
Does seem
personally.
the reverse of how we should have gone about that.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, shorter lifespans. So, I mean, that's the big question mark is it going to affect, human lifespans eventually or any sort of long-term health? Well, dogs don't really have that same level of long-term life. So, I don't know. That's my mindset with it.
How about a drug that allows dogs to eat
This is
chocolate?
gonna be stupid, isn't it?
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Speaking of chocolate, Kit Kat launches ghostly new flavor. Kit Kat lovers are excited about a new Halloween-themed flavor of the classic chocolate bar featuring cinnamon toast-flavored cream instead of milk chocolate. The new Kit Kat Ghost Toast Bar comes in pumpkin
Ryan,
orange
do you need to be
packaging
alone?
and
Again?
offers a unique twist on the traditional treat.
He was snuggling with an ice cream treat 10 minutes ago.
That's snuggling.
He was nuzzling it.
Nuzzling. Okay.
With your nose.
That's risky with ice cream.
I know, because you can almost eat it.
He just wanted to be close to it.
Are you okay with cinnamon toast?
Crunch? Yes.
In general.
Yeah. I don't eat it. I eat toast. What do I eat? What kind of bread do I eat?
Banana.
Ezekiel?
Killer?
Banana bread.
Oh, Dave's Killer Bread.
Is it Dave's Killer Bread? I always say Famous Dave's, which is something else, I think.
Famous Amos is what you're talking
No,
about. Those are
that's,
cookies.
That's you. I eat 2 pieces
Sandwich
of toast.
is really sweet.
Every morning with butter. And every morning I eat a yogurt, but today I forgot. It's right here. And a latte. I like cinnamon toast. I used to eat that growing up, but now I just choose not to add sugar to my toast in the morning.
Cinnamon toast. Well, the French toast sticks. That's one of the
If you do a
greatest
French
inventions.
toast
Oh my gosh.
joke right now.
What?
If you do your French toast.
Oh, I
joke
got a
right-
great French toast.
It's too late.
You know what they call the Tour de France over in France? The Tour de here. I meant to tell that a couple days ago, but I missed the opportunity. And so thank you very much for the time.
It appears you still did. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
By my side, and got love, yeah. Darling, just where you stand, right by my side.
The Retirement Advisory Group is online at retirementkey.com. Please consider going to their website and learning how the Retirement Advisory Group can help you set up a retirement that is worry-free. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? It's basically what you've been working this whole time for. You've saved, you've worked hard, you've set aside funds, you've sacrificed along the way. And the Retirement Advisory Group wants to ensure that that worry-free retirement is yours to have. 314-993-9494. That's the number to call. You can set up a conversation with them, a meeting. It's a free, zero obligation get-together where you discuss where you are and they tell you how they can protect your retirement and set up a personalized structured income plan to help you make sure that comes to reality. 314-993-9494. Call 314-993-9494. Talk with Bob and Tammy Kershaw, Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and find out how your retirement can be worry-free today. Online at retirementkey.com.
Mark Reardon isn't here to echo talking points. He challenges them. Smart, fast, and always original. The Mark Reardon Show. Weekdays at 3 on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200. And always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original overhead door. The most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
You gotta keep them separated.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube live chat poll for today: should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Yes or no? We want to know what you think. You still got time to hurry up and get your vote in. Nobody called in earlier when we opened the phones and said, no, they shouldn't.
That means I need to take an alternate point of view and say we need to change them to a 5-3 map.
What?
Just kidding. I want 7-1.
Are you? So you're a yes. No doubt about it?
Yeah, no doubt. I've been fighting for this since 21. So this needs to happen. This needed to happen then. If it happened then, we would have to worry about it now.
I want to play here real quick a clip before we get to the end of the show. I wanted to give J.D. Vance an opportunity to weigh in. A lot of these issues that we've discussed today, he was out speaking in Georgia, and everybody's looking at Georgia. There's a lot at stake going to be in Georgia for these midterms.
A couple of responses to that criticism. First of all, the only people that we say should not get free government health care benefits are illegal aliens and those who refuse to try to even look for a job. It's very common sense. We want, and look, we're going to bankrupt this country if we keep on giving the people's benefits, the people's Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security benefits to illegal aliens who have no legal right to be in this country and never paid into the system to begin with. That is never the design of those programs, is to give them to every person all over the world. They ought by right to belong to the American citizens who paid into those programs to begin with. And that's what we're fighting to make sure happens.
So people are saying that somehow or another the Republicans are inevitably about to cut Medicare benefits, Medicaid benefits, and they're saying from illegals.
That's what it was the whole time.
Who's arguing with that? And the answer is there are people who are arguing with it, and it's always the same people.
Yeah.
President Trump is going to patrol D.C. tonight with maybe the National Guard. I don't know who will be there. I'm sure his Secret Service will be around him. But he's going to go out and about this evening and be a part of kind of showing that Washington, D.C. is safer now, that he feels like he can do this. Is this a good idea for him?
Yeah. It'll draw press to it. And look, this will be a story for a week or so. It'll be interesting because, of course, there's going to be cameras. There's going to be some footage from it. It's interesting. I don't really see that there's any sort of fallout for him. The only way that this whole thing turns around on him, which isn't going to happen, is if somehow crime were to go up. That's not going to happen. So no matter what he does press-wise with getting this story out there, it's all a win for him and for D.C.
I kind of think it's high risk, not enough reward, in my opinion.
Oh, I just don't think that they'll
allow
great. Him to have enough
I think
risk.
It's great after the fact when everything is good, but I know I'm not the target audience here, but I don't need this.
This is for TV.
It's a photo op.
Yeah.
It's not a bad photo op. I was just going to say, I think Joe Biden would do it. Can you go back for a second and realize how absent Joe Biden was from this presidency?
You wouldn't have seen that guy walking around on the roof.
It's incredibly stark to think about how absent and how managed Joe Biden was and how frequently he would tell us.
Yeah. At the end of every speech.
There's no mystery behind it. He said all the time, one of his go-to things was, I'm going to get in trouble. They told me I need to stand here. Who is it that I need to talk to next? He's got his cards in his hands. The big ask of Joe Biden was to read in real time what he was told to do. Who was it that was called into question today? Ian somebody? I can't remember the last name. I think it starts with an S. I'm going to find it here. But they continue to ask people about the auto pen situation and
Sam.
Huh?
Ian Sam.
Oh. And most people are pleading the fifth on this type of stuff, but the most recent person who came in and was discussing it was basically like, I didn't actually really see him that much. So the most damning thing that's coming out of these conversations is I didn't see Joe Biden stumbling all over himself or mumbling or not knowing where he's going. I never really saw that. Why is that? How often did you see the president? Well, I didn't really see him. He wasn't really there. Where was he? What was he doing? So there'd be a lot of bloviating on talk shows suggesting that Joe Biden was well within his wits, but it wasn't really based. It's kind of like the plausible deniability. I didn't see him doing that, so I can say he was doing this. And that's not going to win you a court case. On Fox News, it says one of former President Joe Biden's staunchest defenders in the last year of his presidency only met with the ex-commander-in-chief in person twice.
He's a staunch defender?
While working at the White House, a top Republican said House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer of Kentucky has been leading the closed-door transcribed interview of Ian Sams, who served as a top spokesman on matters related to congressional investigations and other probes during the latter 2 years. This guy served as a spokesman on matters related to congressional investigations and other probes during those years of the Biden administration. Comer told reporters, that was probably the most informative transcribed interview / deposition that we've had thus far. I'll give Mr. Sams credit. He answered our questions. He said, I think one of the most shocking things to me is he communicated with Joe Biden 2 times. He saw Joe Biden, talked to Joe Biden 2 times. The entire stint as White House spokesperson, but yet he would every day tweet and issue statements from the podium of the White House.
Wow.
All a ruse? This isn't surprising. We were all there. We watched the whole thing as it happened. Ethan, you want to give us the results of today's poll?
I will gladly do that, Annie. Only for you, though.
Thank you. Not Ryan?
No. Today's YouTube live chat poll, 227 votes. Should Missouri redraw its congressional map? Not close today, guys. 78% say yes, 22% say no.
You stuffed the ballot box?
Yes, I did.
All right. Like a true Illinoisan over there. All right, thank you for listening here. Keep it on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative, because the Mark Reardon Show is coming up next.
Control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Have you been notified that your subsidy for Obamacare health insurance is going away? Well, you can leave now while you are still healthy and can qualify for much better individual plans. Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com has been helping people get affordable health insurance with great coverage for over 35 years. Greg offers private health insurance plans that are not on the ACA marketplace. You can pick your doctors. For most claims, you won't even pay a deductible, and they're 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing, there's no tax penalty at the end of the year. Greg even has plans that are guaranteed acceptance. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan by you, not the government.
Many people dream of learning how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music, but few ever do. And here are a few of the reasons why. I can't read music, it will take too long, it's too expensive, it's too hard, or I've tried before and I failed. This would be true with most piano lessons, but not with Lacefield Music's innovative adult piano classes. With Lacefield Music's classes, you will learn how to read music and play with both your right and left hand the very first week. And you'll be able to play all your favorite songs in only 8 weeks. Maybe not fast, but you'll be able to play them. Lacefield